Every week we come up here, we do these preview episodes. We talk about the games that are the most exciting for us, what we think is going to happen in them, the players that will define these games, what will in general, decide this week of football. And I think we as a collective NFL fan base have not done enough talking about blocking field goals as being a deciding factor of the biggest games of the week.
Listen, there's three phases of the game, right? You have to be sound in every single phase. That's exactly what we were. Once again, make some noise if your team is 3-0. Yeah.
Toot, 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 toot.
You can make noise too.
So, like it's obvious by the title, like it's obvious by the fact that we're talking about field goals blocked. We're going to be recapping everything that we learned in week 3 of the NFL season, starting with that game, the game of the week, Eagles versus Rams, getting into the downfall of some young quarterbacks, the downfall of some offenses, obviously being hyperbolic, because what we do here is you overreact each week to what we saw on Sunday, and today will be no different. We'll go through about 10 games or so that were the most interesting to us, that we actually learned some things from, and yeah, man, let's talk about week 3 of the season. All right, like we said, let's get started by going straight into the game of the week. Eagles versus Rams, in which the Eagles came victorious off of a last-second blocked field goal when it looked like they were going to lose on a walk-off field goal from the Rams. They blocked it, returned it for a touchdown. I'm sure anybody who bet on the Rams to cover is in despair because they would have covered even with the loss, except for a last-second field goal return for a touchdown. Not just a blocked field goal to lose, return for a touchdown that does nothing but make bettors be in despair. Donovan, how are you feeling?
What are they going to say now?
Oh my gosh!
I'm just saying. It was absolutely cinema. The second half, first half horror film.
Nightmare.
Absolutely terrible.
Who would you say in the chat when you were watching this game?
I was pouring bleach, man. I was about to talk about
not pouring bleach. You were taking shots.
Furious.
What you said.
The first half of offense was some of the worst offense that I feel like I've seen the Eagles play in the like Sirianni Hurts era. It was so bad. And then they went into halftime. They went into the locker room. We flipped the switch. The Disney movie came alive, and the comeback was on. And and I'm actually lying. You come out of the half. They still, for the entire game, the Eagles just could not, like Tanks Bigsby and Mechie could not figure out how to field a kickoff. They were fumbling the ball all the time. You come out, Lane Johnson's hurt. Jalen Hurts gets hit. It's a sack. The Rams get the ball. We spot them a touchdown to start the second half, going down 26-7. And then the Disney movie happened. The comeback happened. The offense opens up. And would you look at that? When you throw go balls to A.J. Brown, the offense looks good. When you target the middle of the field, the offense looks good. And so like the passing offense finally got on track. And so offensively, there was that. Defensively, everybody locked in, especially Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. We won the game. So
both of which blocked the field goal.
It's awesome.
The fact that you won a game because you blocked not one, but 2 field goals over the course of the game, just a crazy game. Like you mentioned, the first half was downright terrible. I was there watching just in awe about how god-awful the Eagles offense was for a third straight week. And you said good things happen when you throw go balls to A.J. Brown. It wasn't even throw go balls to A.J. Brown. It was just throw balls to A.J. Brown. They threw him curls. They threw him go balls. They threw him digs. They said, you are much bigger and stronger than this guy. We are not getting anything going. We would like you to get us some good plays. And he did it every time.
And it's just, it's so self-explanatory.
Yeah, I agree. And of course, everyone's going to sit here and back, oh, man, this is how you should play. Oh, man, play this way every time. And I understand the Eagles' philosophy more and more as each and every week goes on. And clearly when A.J. Brown has when he has a guy, that chart is insane. He has a mismatch from hell. Like, this is when the Eagles, obviously, like him and Devonta Smith tend to thrive the most. What I'm just realizing, too, is that this game was such a tale of two halves because each team scored like 26 points unanswered.
Yeah.
Like, that's so crazy.
Yeah, so obviously the Eagles figured out in the second half, led by feeding the ball to A.J. Brown and him just roasting alive the cornerbacks guarding him one-on-one, which is obviously a weakness of the Rams defense. Their secondary doesn't have the best individual talent. They're susceptible to being dominated one-on-one like this. But, there's a reason they were down early. The Rams defensive line, as always, did a great job dictating the flow of the game in the first half. Hurts was under pressure nonstop, and the offensive line, especially after Lane Johnson got hurt, folded under pressure. They were getting destroyed. They were sending DB blitzes that the line had act like they'd never seen before. Hurts was constantly under disarray, getting sacked all the time. I forgot how many sacks were in this game, but it was a lot. Was it 5?
I can't remember the exact.
I forget, but the first half it was Hurts constantly under disarray and things not going well. The Rams doing a good job stuffing the run, not allowing them to let Saquon dominate them. Like you said, tail 2 halves. None of that shit happened in the second half.
Yeah.
All of that disappeared. Everything went well for the Eagles' offense. The interesting part though was the Rams' offense.
Yeah.
Again, first half cooking. Puka looks like the most consistent receiver in the NFL. Every week I've watched this week watching the Rams play, I think, okay, Puka's entering best in the world conversations to me by just pure production. He just gets it done. It's different than every other top receiver. He plays like a tight end, essentially. There's a lot of plays where the Eagles linebackers match up on him over the middle of the field when he does his normal thing where he motions in, runs through the line of scrimmage, and attacks that linebacker one-on-one. Doesn't create a lot of separation, just catches it over Zach Bond every time. That was insane in the first half. But man, the second half, that Rams red zone offense was terrible. So many field goals settled for.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of it was the story of the game because even in the first half, like the Eagles forced the Rams to kick field goals. And I think from the Rams side of it, I was shocked, especially as the game started to flip and as we started to get later, very shocked that McVay was being so conservative. And that he wasn't going for it on fourth downs. And they talked about it on the broadcast, but it is like when you're playing teams that are very aggressive on fourth down, like the Eagles, like the Commanders, you know that like, hey, they're going to this is beautiful. They're going to convert on some of these. They're going to create extra plays, extra possessions. You have to like go out and just beat them and not really rely on your defense. And then as your defense is getting cooked in the second half, you feel like, especially with Puka, and you saw on the last drive, it didn't matter who was on him.
Yeah.
Whether if it was Adoree Jackson or Jacorian Bennett or Zach Bond, he was going to get open. He was going to catch the ball. And he was so physical in this game. He was amazing. And so I was very shocked that we get down to these points and you're like, there was a fourth down that the Rams didn't end up getting, but they ended up giving the ball. They handed it off instead of putting the ball in Stafford's hands, instead of trying to get it to Puka. And so I was kind of shocked by those couple of things in the second half. But I think you really saw Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis really, really step up. And I think for the Eagles, as you transition from like last year's team to this year's team, obviously the big talking point was all the talent that you lost on the defensive line. You can live with that if Jalen Carter is making a, hey, I'm the best DT in the conference type of play, or if Jordan Davis says I lost all this weight, but I'm the biggest player on the field. Like my impact is going to be felt. If you have those two guys in the middle of your defense, kind of manning everything else is going to fall into place.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, I agree. For the Rams, even in like the first half, you just can't enter the red zone and walk away 3 different times specifically, and walk away with just like 9 points, bro.
And there's one that the Eagles got really lucky on because there's one that they scored a touchdown in. Kyron Williams walked him down, scored a touchdown in the third quarter, got called back for holding, resulting in a field goal. Thank God that guy held. 'Cause that might have been, I mean, I guess mathematically probably would have been the game. And there were so many moments like that in the second half where it just felt like a game that seemingly was over at half, just slowly slipped away from this team. And you know what it felt like? It felt like watching the Chiefs in recent years, where every time you think they're down, their team is. People always say like they have that devil magic. They find a way to get done. It's crazy. What that really means is top to bottom, your roster is insanely talented, and you find ways to win on the margins every time against rosters that have weaknesses when you really don't. So over time, things start to accumulate. When other teams make mistakes, you're able to capitalize because your roster is that good in this many small ways. That's the hallmark of a championship team that has years and years of runs on him. It's no coincidence that this is the team that's doing that now instead of the Chiefs.
Yeah, and especially with one of the strengths that we have to talk about, and again, people may not know because you just didn't see him because they're not throwing the ball his way. But like in the second half, Quinyon Mitchell locked up Devontae Adams.
Look at this
Killed him.
throw chart. The left side, guess who lines up on the left side? Quinyon Mitchell.
Exactly.
There's no green over there except for that one touchdown, which was beautiful. That was a slot fade to Devontae Adams where I think they were running cover 2. He went right by the defense and got to the secondary against Reed Blankenship, who was in a deep half. Cooked him. Just ran right past him. One of the most beautiful throws of the week from Matthew Stafford. Outside of that, not a single completion.
I mean, come on,
What?
That was a clear offensive.
Whatever.
That was clear OPI.
Whatever.
It was clear OPI. However, there was a call, I think, later in the game that did go our way. So fine, we're even. You take it, but you let that be known. That was OPI.
Whatever.
That was OPI.
No more completions over 15 yards. Stafford left a lot on the field this game. There was a lot of misses by Stafford that were uncharacteristic misses that, you have a really good D-line, really good secondary. The windows are smaller, under pressure. The smallest little misses whenever a DB is bumping the receiver off their path. It happens. So not to say it was some disaster class by Stafford, but a lot of these misses, run that simulation 10 times, 8 times there's big completions that make this game go the other way. But this time, so many small things went the Eagles' way and they won.
Well, also, I mean, we could run it. We could run the simulation like 5 times, 10 times. The last 4 times the Eagles have played the Rams, the Eagles have won. So it's like you can keep running the simulation. Yeah. The Eagles, we got your number, McVay. It is what it is. And we have 100%. We have to talk about and we have to give Hurts all of the praise and all of the credit that he deserves on this day, because especially over the first 2 weeks, and like the first week, everyone I feel like everyone finally got to a point where it was like, okay, like I guess the Cowboys defense was just playing soft and like it is what it is, right? Like you kind of did that. But after the Chiefs game, there was a lot of conversation about the passing offense, a lot of conversation about Hurts and his limitations, what he is and what he isn't doing. I feel like this game specifically very explicitly showed like, hey, this is a play calling thing, because like the Eagles once they finally got down 26-7 and their backs are against the wall and the coaching staff is like, okay, I guess we have to throw. Then you start seeing the full arsenal of the offense, and Hurts operated it very, very well. And he did the Jalen Hurts things that he needs to do and that he normally does, and they found a way to win. And so being down 19 to Matthew Stafford and to McVay and to Puka and all these guys that everybody in the league always talks about in such high regard, as they should, but being in that situation and coming back, that's massive. And it was an amazing feat from Hurts yesterday. It's an amazing feat from the whole team, but like he deserves so much praise and so much credit today.
Yeah, no, he did play great. And like you said, I didn't even think about that way, because like we made jokes about Hurts, but we've talked this show, we've been talking about nonstop. This is a Kevin Patullo problem. This guy, the play calling has been horrific. So that was my focus, is like that tweet we pulled up as a joke said, shout out Kevin Patullo for discovering the forward pass. Shout out, one thing I keep hearing, the best way I've heard it described is Theo Ash keeps calling it a goal line offense they're running the first 2 weeks. And that's a hilarious way to put it. Obviously they spread out sometimes, but their under center attack has truly been a goal line offense. They've truly been running like 2 routes out there from heavy sets, and it's been terrible. Thank God he just completely abandoned that ridiculous desire to play that way.
Yeah. And it was super interesting because as soon as you said like, when Lane Johnson went out. Lane Johnson, there's a couple tackles in the league where teams just can never figure out like how to play without them. And so like the Niners are one of those teams where Trent Williams, and obviously it's more often than not the best tackles in the league.
Yeah.
But when Lane goes out and you get all this pressure and then they ended up putting in Pryor, everybody online, every Eagles fan was like, yo, put Fred Johnson in the game, please. Because Fred had just came back. And as soon as Fred Johnson got back into the game, the offense settled, right? Hurts was finally able to get protection, and that's when the passing game really, really took off. So I'm happy that, and I hope that if Lane can't play, I'm happy that they found a solution to that in this game. And so moving forward, this is awesome.
Against a great D-line too. Like that was a good in-game test. Like they had to cycle bodies and figure it out. Like also the fact that Hollywood Brown on here is hilarious. What an accomplishment.
There's nobody else there.
Listen, a body's a body. You got it regardless.
That's what I'm saying.
You clamp up who's in front of you.
Yeah, man. What a win.
Great game by the Eagles addressing some of the issues. Obviously, we've been hard on them in recent weeks. I'm still not fully like their offense is figured out. Like it's a good sign. They're going, but like that first half happened for a reason, and their defense played so good in the second half against the Rams that they came back in this game. So great win by them. I still want to see them carry that forward. I'm not ready to be like Eagles figured it out. Kevin Patullo is not a problem anymore. They're going to be back-to-back champions. Like that's the pedestal we hold them to. And I want to see a few more games of consistency that doesn't have first half where you got to dig yourself out of a goddamn hole.
Yeah.
But it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, this is just pretty much the Eagles' storyline for the first 3 weeks of the season. Like, they're just continuously getting it out of the mud. And, of course, you don't like to see it that way. It's a gruesome way to go ahead and get your wins. But at the end of the day, like, throughout these last 3 games in the second half, they've continuously outscored their opponents. And I think the score is, the scoreline is 39-7 in the second half every single game this season so far. So it's like it checks off. It's not. I mean, you don't want it to be like that, but at the end of the day, like It's impressive.
Yeah, championship DNA. They get that shit done whenever they're at their lowest offensively. That's how it goes with these type of teams.
Yeah.
And you know,
Jared Verse, who took your chain?
No, that is true.
that was funny. Especially when the other team in the conference that they're supposed to be competing with stuttered in week 3 as well.
Yeah.
Got to feel solid going to week 4 for the Eagles. Yeah. But speaking of stuttering offenses, let's talk about the second game that we had to talk about today. We're going to have a funeral for the Houston Texans season.
Who died?
The offense.
Damn.
The team.
Yeah.
0-3. And they've been talking about nonstop on every broadcast. The last time we saw a team go 0-3 and make the playoffs was the Houston Texans, and I think it was 2018. Before that, it was like the early 2000s. It is not very often you see a team make a comeback from this type of terrible start, especially when the Daniel Jones Colts are across from the conference going insane at 3-0. They are 3 games back from winning the conference. Now I think at best they're hoping for a wild card run, which, you know, it's only 3 games, so they can still do that. But I feel like the collective conversation has been, okay, so their offense is cooked. What's going on? Do y'all see it that way?
I mean, I know because I don't have the question of what's going on. I know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know?
Everything's bad. That's what's going on.
Yeah. And so the offensive line obviously is one of the worst in the league. And it's gotten to a point where last year there were a couple of moments where you look at this team and you say, like, man, I hope they can put it together, because you're starting to see a couple bad habits from CJ Stroud. Right? Like, you can't blame absolutely everything on the offensive line, and there's some mistakes that he's making that we really need to tidy that up going into next year. And now we're here next year, and over the first 3 games, you've seen bad habits, you've seen bad play from CJ Stroud, you've seen inaccurate throws, you've seen bad decisions, and it's a compounding effect when your offensive line is bad and your quarterback, who is supposed to be the elevator, is not elevating at all.
That's the part. Most of this team isn't that surprising. You know, when we talked about this team preseason, we considered them, I think we did our top 10 contenders ranking, we put them like 9 or 8, something like that.
Yeah,
we gave them back half for the top 10 teams because the defense is so monstrous and because we trust CJ Stroud blindly. Like, this is a clearly top-end quarterback that can carry things, and if we believe that Nick Caley will come in and be a better offensive coordinator than what they got from last year, we can imagine that those things are good enough to keep them at the top of their division, which will keep them in the playoffs and keep them within striking distance of letting their defense win them some playoff games, right? All of that makes sense of why you choose to believe a team without seeing them play. But we talked a lot about the weaknesses of this team. We did a segment where we were talking about, can certain NFL teams win a Super Bowl this year? Which is a very abstract question. Anybody can. But what we meant by is, like, do we think they have like a realistic chance of competing? And I said no for this team because I just don't think you can win a Super Bowl with a bottom 10 offensive line.
Yeah.
Bottom 10 was generous. This offensive line is dog shit. And all the abilities that we believed in of CJ Stroud to carry, none of those are there right now. Like, he's looking more and more like a mortal quarterback that needs a good situation to succeed, which isn't an insult. That's most quarterbacks. But I think after his rookie year, he was viewed as a quarterback that was going to elevate towards those like top 5 conversations of guys that can make the most of his situations and carry water for the rest of the team. That doesn't feel like who I'm watching right now.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It's so interesting to see. Obviously, like, last year I wasn't around to see CJ Stroud and his like ascension to stardom, being one of the rookie guys or whatever. But seeing how quickly the page has turned and knowing the full context of how bad their offensive line is this year compared to last year, knowing it was bad and seeing what they did this offseason, which is like pretty much nothing, while bringing in a new rookie offensive coordinator, not addressing any of the issues as well. This feels such like a handicap situation. It's such a like a unique situation too, because okay, I'm hearing about this dude named Nico Collins. Apparently he's a goon. I watched the tape. Holy fuck, you guys are right. He is indeed a goon. I hear about the Houston Texans defense. I hear about Will Anderson Jr. Goon. I understand it all, bro. But
Goose left and right.
I see the offensive line. I go ahead and see also like how desolate, how truly ass it is, and how they, again, like, didn't add no talent. Such a weird team construction. And something I wanted to point out today too is that I realized, compared to the NBA, in the NBA, it's so hard these days to sniff out the dummies in the league. It's so hard to sniff out the dumbass offensive or dumbass front offices. But in the NFL, it's like easier than ever. And this is like clearly the first dummies that I've been able to spot out.
That is what it feels like. So that's probably
question. Oh, not even a question. This is the first NFL team to ever go like 0-3, while also giving up a total like of 55 points through the first 3 games.
And they haven't
Defense
scored 40.
is stellar. Yes.
And they haven't scored 40.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's what it feels like. It feels like a front office that had just squandered the rookie contract window of CJ Stroud. And you mentioned they didn't bring any talent in the offensive line. I agree. I was saying that all preseason. And in the comments, Texas fans would tell us 4 out of 5 starters are different now. What do you mean they haven't addressed the line? That's the verbiage I kept using in our preseason videos. I kept saying they did not address the line in a meaningful way. How can it not be addressed? There's 4 new bodies there. We start 5, 4 new guys. It's a new line, right? They got new players, not good players. They got players that were cast off from other terrible offensive lines. They went and found the rejects from the Vikings, the rejects from so-and-so, all these other teams that replaced these guys because their line was an issue. They brought them here and said, we can fix them. You can't. These guys are not good. There is no talent up there. Going back to this throw chart, outside of this botched coverage in which Nico Collins ran for the touchdown on what was simply a botched coverage, there's a miscommunication between the DBs, and they got this touchdown. There was nothing effective deep because they know Nico Collins is a deep threat receiver, true X receiver that will line up on the outside and we'll try to beat this vertically. We are going to run 2 high safety shells, take that away from you. And when we do that, we're giving you light boxes to run the ball against. Your offensive line sucks. You're not going to get good run block push. Your running back room sucks. Shout out Nick Chubb. Old, has a lot of injuries. He's not the Nick Chubb of old, sadly.
Negative juice.
Shout out Woody Marks. He's a rookie, not a powerful back that's going to make up for bad blocking. He's more of a receiving scat back type. They don't have the bodies to block, the backs to take advantage, to force teams out of these 2 high shells. So Nico Collins is rendered not useless, but pretty neutered by the situation around him. And it helps now that Christian Kirk is back. Before that, they did not have the bodies in the receiver room with their rookies Higgins and Noel to make up for that by peppering you early. And CJ Stroud has not run the quick game particularly effectively. He's been skittish under pressure, running around. He's had some bad accuracy issues. There's one pick he threw in this game that was against a basic cover 3 defense. He tried to run a corner route, and the curl flat defender, Jordan Lewis, who's had a great season for the Jags, just read it, dropped back, picked it super easily. That to me looked like a pick thrown by a quarterback that is completely hampered by the pressure right now.
And it's just, it's so unfortunate because we are like, this defense is so good. Also, the defense, like because we talked about it last week where they weren't able to seal that game because they missed some tackles.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the same thing, yesterday. Like they missed some tackles as well. And like obviously you have to make tackles, but the pressure that this defense is under right now is they have to play. Come on, man. the pressure that this defense is that they have to play perfect. Like they cannot make any mistakes. And at this point, and we talked about it before, I said I need the Texans defense. Like my question for them for this week is, can the defense score? Because they're going to they're gonna have to. And I said Trevor Lawrence is gonna give them one. He gave them an interception. You have to they are literally at the point where you have to figure out ways to score on special teams, to score on defense. Because if you're going to get 10 to 13 points every single week, that's obviously just not going to be good enough. And Lawrence on the other side didn't even play amazing either. So
because he's against the Houston Texans defense.
Yeah,
helps,
but and that's the bar that you're going into, where every single game that you play, that if this quarterback is normally an A+, your defense is going to make him A-, B+, right? They will drop a letter grade playing your team. And so you have a much bigger margin of error that many other teams in the league don't have. And they just don't have any of the horses, any of the bodies to overcome it. And so at this point, you're 0-3. You in the AFC, when you know that the top 3 teams or the top 2 right now in terms of Buffalo and Baltimore, we expect the Chiefs to be in the playoffs. The Chargers are 3-0. You have another three.
Colts are 3-0.
Oh yeah, Colts are 3-0 in your own division. So you know that you're gonna have to be a wild card team. You're 0-3. Does 10-7 make it? And if 10-7 does make it, you have to go 10-4 for the rest of the way. If 11 wins makes it 11-3, that's just not gonna happen.
And anything can happen. The season might not be over. It feels like this version of this team this year, it just doesn't have it. The flaws are entirely predictable. The solutions that we decided to believe in have not worked. So the flaws are just what they are. And, obviously everyone is taking the opportunity to dunk on CJ Stroud for his 1-year wonder rookie season. Now he's exposed as a fraud. The NFL humbled him, all this stuff. I'm not going there that he's bad or average, anything of the sort that people are going out there with. That's always the answer to discourse of people is QB sucks. he's just I am going to the fact that I do think he has a ways to go before he can be the elevator we thought he was.
Yeah.
That he's not immune to bad situation, and the situation is beyond bad, so he's not in a situation to live to his strengths. He's probably being affected in terms of like his internal clock and his ability to handle pressure. The same way you always talk about, like, I hope this bad team doesn't ruin this quarterback. I think what you mean by that normally is they just develop bad habits because they know they're constantly under duress and they feel like they have to play with that in the back of their heads. I think some of that is here. And I do still believe if you get him in a good situation, CJ will be a great quarterback. Like, he still can be a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah.
He's not that right now in this situation.
Yeah.
And if he's not going to be playing and producing at that level, team doesn't have much of a chance.
No, it's as over as it could be for
3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, for the Texans. For Jacksonville, shout out to them, right? You get to 2-1, you get a bounce back win, you get a win in your division to allow you to, keep pace with the Colts, who at this point is like, yo, are you guys good? Like
No, they are good.
No, not good in that sense, but like it's crazy what they're doing.
Yeah, it's insane.
So
I believe in it too, for the most part. Like, it doesn't feel unsustainable.
Wow.
There'll be some regression. We're gonna get to them on Thursday.
Yeah.
Let's talk about them today because we're having a video that's like specifically pertaining to them.
Mhm.
So we won't talk about them in their game they just played, but we'll do that later this week. But I super believe in the Colts as far as the regular season team goes. So I don't see the hole they're in getting that much smaller as time goes on. Like, thho gonna have to pace with the Colts, who have shown no signs of slowing down. The Jags, to talk about them, their defense is impressing me this week, which obviously they're facing Texans offense, who just talked about why they're a disaster class. But I felt pretty good watching them. Jordan Lewis was a fantastic signing. He looks like one of the better nickels in the league right now after being really good for the Cowboys and coming here and immediately stepping in and making big plays left and right. Their edge rush duo that we knew would be the strength of this team in Hines Allen and Walker looks every bit like the strength of this team. They're performing great. The main thing I'm watching for is, one, does Brian Thomas Jr. have the yips? Two, how are they using Travis Hunter? I was hoping that was going to be a dominant wide receiver duo. We'll continue to talk about it as the season goes on. Whatever's wrong with Brian Thomas Jr., whether it's connection with Lawrence, whether it's team situation and new scheme not fitting him as well, whether it's the confidence issues not getting hit over the middle of the field, the drops now that are coming from that, he does not look like an elite receiver like we thought he was after his rookie year. Not selling stock or anything yet, but it has not been a good start. And in this game, Travis Hunter played 65% of the defensive snaps, 10% of the offensive snaps, if I remember correctly. So they went full on defense this game. I think maybe that offensive number is a little too low. If I got that wrong.
But he played well on defense. He had some really, really good snaps as a cornerback. And that was like, I thought that he should have did that. Like, I feel like it's easier.
Initially?
Yeah, I feel like it's easier to be, and obviously easy is a very like, relative word, but like to be a full-time DB and then play part-time receiver rather than play, most of the time receiver and then try to be a situational corner. I feel like that is the harder way to go. But it's also just weird for them because they've said it's going to be a week by week thing of how we use Travis Hunter. I think that's stupid. And like I understand the sentiment of it, of he's so versatile, he's so talented. We can use him in so many different ways depending on what we need. If you want to do that in year 2 and year 3, that's fine. He's a rookie. Like, he has to get used to playing in the NFL and understanding not only how the league does things, but how your specific team operates and his specific role, and find strengths that he can have and find ways that he can make an impact. So I feel like saying every single week, hey, we're going to play you 70% of the defensive snaps in week 3, as opposed to 10% of the defensive snaps in week 1. And then maybe we get to week 4 and everything flips and now he's playing 70% on offense. Like, how is he supposed to get into any sort of a rhythm to do anything? I think that's the worst part out of all of it, rather than is he playing, is he full-time here or full-time there?
Dude, it's even hard to sit down and thinking about outside of Sundays that he's playing, or maybe sometimes Thursdays or Mondays or whatever the schedule may be for that week. Outside of that, like, the actual practicality of sitting down and having to like focus extremely hard on multiple tasks, be a part of like multiple meetings, be a part of multiple different types of practices and practice squads and drills and all that. So incredibly hard. And clearly, like going back to what you said, they're still trying to figure out and balance like the right formula. And back when they made that trade on draft night, it was just a straight up like, fuck it, bro, he's talented, let's take him, we'll figure out the rest later. It was no like, he is the piece. They know he's a piece, but it feels like this draft pick wasn't necessarily intentional just yet.
Yeah, and it's hard. Like, it's easy to say that because it's not working.
Yeah.
But I also recognize that in the same way that you're saying consistency would be helpful, right? So he can get in the flow of things and improve. I agree that that would be nice, but it also would be a shame if they picked a route. Let's say they decided initially going to be a cornerback that minors in offense and plays a little bit of snaps. It would be a shame if they did that and had it back of their heads. What would happen if you gave him full offensive snaps? And then how, like, it's such a unique thing we've never seen before. There's no real playbook for this. Like, that stands to test logically. He is an illogical ass athlete in the type of workload he can handle mentally and physically. I kind of understand that they have to just try, like, spreading out all the different options, spraying and praying and seeing what sticks. Otherwise, you'd have a lot of, like, what if in your head. And this is a player that, like you said, you gave up so much draft assets. You can't really live with what ifs. You have to get to the best case scenario. And I think their idea is you sacrifice the first 4 or 5 weeks to figure out what that best case scenario is and then build on it consistently, like the way you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I understand it's a tough conundrum there.
yeah, and what I don't want, because he is such a crazy athlete, what I don't want is us to get to week 9 and we haven't really learned anything because we don't have 2 weeks of back-to-back, like, oh, we've done this and we have a decent enough sample size to say, okay, maybe we can progress here, and we're still trying to figure out things in week 9. And like Travis Hunter is a guy that can obviously come in and make an impact. He can do that for your team. I hope that they're able to find some way to do that this season and not use the entire year as a test, when in reality his whole career is probably going to be a test just because of the lofty expectations that he's put on himself. And if obviously, like, the easiest and, like, most, I guess, reckless way is say, like, hey, you're going to play 60% of the snaps both ways and go ahead and do that and really lean into the two-way aspect of his game. But I feel like trying to figure out where he's going to major and minor, he might just be a double major, right? Like it might just be that, and you might just have to lean into it instead of saying you're going to major and minor.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that's the goal long term.
Yeah.
But again, it's got to work towards it. I think they probably spend the first, like, 6 or 7 weeks experimenting.
Yeah.
And the second half, as they prepare to try to make the playoffs, they really lock in. But either way, shout out this team's defense. They are currently second in EPA per pass defensively, have been defending at a truly elite level. The only team ahead of them at defending the pass is the Minnesota Vikings, who are insane defense. And what's more interesting is the Jacksonville Jaguars defend the third highest amount of passes as a percentage of their plays. So teams are passing against them nonstop, and they are standing tall. So what that means is teams, either they're stacking the box and not allowing the run to be a thing and forcing teams into pass, or offenses haven't adjusted yet and they still view these DBs as walking licks, like they have looked at times, and they are just standing there and being a great defense. And, part of that is just a 3-game sample size, and one of those games were against a disastrous Texans offense. Other game was against Jake Browning, who did walk them down, but had a lot of picks in there, which helps your EPA a lot. So we'll see how it holds over time. But so far,
And you played Bryce Young.
and you played Bryce Young, was a disaster class. So it's not a murderer's row, but they're defending well. And I think we all have seen great things from Liam Cohen, depending on Trevor Lawrence's play as the year goes on. I think we're seeing the building blocks being laid for a good two-way team.
Yeah.
Speaking of good two-way teams, let's transition over to one of our other game of the weeks, Chargers versus Broncos. The Chargers are now 3-0 after defeating their third straight division rival to get a 3-0 division lead on the whole entire conference as well. I mean, the whole entire division, as well as being 3-0 in their regular record. And this team is amazing.
Yeah.
This team is just good as fuck. Like, they're so flawed, but so good. It is such a strange season as a Chargers fan. Everything that we thought was going to be a weakness of this team was a weakness in this game. Their offensive line got destroyed. Herbert was under the most pressure he's been in all year. He got sacked 5 times. Nick Bonito looked amazing. Cooper looked amazing. Their interior defensive tackle duo looked amazing. Everything about that which you'd want to see from the Broncos defense went pretty well. And yet they still found a way to win because of their strengths. Jesse Minter is a genius. Herbert, and a serious coach, is just a fourth quarter clutch machine. This team looks like they can win a playoff game despite being one of the more flawed teams of the good teams.
Yeah, and they were able to win because Minter's great, because Herbert's great, because Bo Nix is not great.
Yeah.
Like, that's also why. But there was a play yesterday where Nick Bonito like the moment the play happened, he was in the backfield, just whooped Joe Alt. Yep. He beat him Franklin Myers on the inside.
Oh my god! You see the play where he beat up a sailor and just threw him to the ground?
It was the same play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the same exact play. Because I saw Benito, and so I thought that he was gonna get the sack, and then by the time my eyes got to Herbert, he was already on the ground.
Yeah,
and so they were feasting on them yesterday, and it couldn't have been a more like Charger game, because even in this game where you go up 3-0 in your division, Najee Harris tears his Achilles, and like you also have that aspect of it, and so you can't have just one nice day if you're a Charger fan. Like something always has to go wrong. Yeah. But for them, they are definitely different than the way that I thought about them before the season started, and they do look like a team that can win a playoff game. And I will say, the throw Justin Herbert made yesterday might be the greatest throw I've ever seen in my life.
Dude.
Greatest throw you've ever seen.
It might be.
It's certainly
it might be.
As far as this season goes, as far as Herbert highlight reel go, like I'll restart this. He starts off, he's under pressure immediately. 2 defensive bodies around him, he flees out.
This is going left.
Dude, and look at the angle.
His shoulders.
Yes. The angle of that throw was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, he has to contort his arm around the defender and throws it perfect on the money to a rolling out receiver in Keenan Allen.
While he's getting smacked.
This is just insane, and this is the game tying score. This is really the play that like allowed them to win the game and close out defensively strong from here. He's just insane, and he has a competent coach that's not Staley, that's not one of the dumbest coaches in the league in all regards. They have an offensive line that in this game came to roost. I think you saw the issues. They had a lot of injuries in game 2. Becton went out early. Yeah. Pipkins is going in and out because he got poked in the goddamn eye. And yeah, like we showed earlier, 57% of the plays they were pressured. The Broncos rushed 4 on 66% of those dropbacks. So they weren't blitzing them left and right. They just allowed their insanely stacked defensive line to go beat the shit out of the Chargers' bad offensive line, and it worked. To perfection of what the Broncos DC would want to see, and it did not matter because Justin Herbert is playing at the level of the best quarterback in the NFL right now. Quinn Johnston is just like great wide receiver now. I don't know if we're just like comfortable saying that. He's really good now. It's no longer like, oh, it's cute for QJ. Oh, he's doing this when he's not dropping passes. Good. He's very good. He's been the wide receiver 1. He has 3 touchdowns and leads the team in reception yards. Ladd is their like wide receiver 3 in targets right now because Keenan is also still kicking it, looking really good. Arande Gadsden finally played in this game and just gave them a casual 5 receptions, 2 of which on the game-winning drive. Herbert immediately trusts him, and he was a player that I mentioned as like an X factor if they can finally get a receiving threat from the tight end position, which they didn't have at all last year with Will Disley being their main tight end. That's a new level. They just have so many passing weapons, and that's not even getting into Trey Harris and KLS, who we think will grow into roles as the season goes on. And obviously, Omarion Hampton did really well as a pass catcher yesterday. Yeah. They are stacked weapons-wise, that even though their passing protection isn't great, everything else has been great so far.
Yeah, I agree. And then, bro, speaking of Omarion Hampton, that was like the greatest like sign when it comes to pulse of life and investing so much assets in terms of like, you were the pick for us last year. You are supposed to be like the difference maker considering how aged out, obviously, now we see Najee Harris is out for, I'm assuming for the rest of the year.
Oh, yeah.
We need you, and to see this pulse of life was so needed. And it's just like they're already not necessarily a stacked offense, but damn near, bro. Like given someone who this season, I think without a doubt, Justin Herbert is a top 3 quarterback. Without a doubt,
certainly playing at that level right now.
Certainly,
like, especially if you talk about like MVP conversations, it's Allen, Lamar, and Herbert right now.
Yes,
and then like Baker Mayfield, who's also
there's a gap after that. There's a clear gap after that for sure.
Yeah. I'll salute Baker Mayfield for 3-game sample size, but in terms of how good we think they are long term, that's a 3-man group right now with Mahomes still sputtering with no weapons.
Exactly. So seeing that happen and seeing how Herbert is he just has the touch. Like when it comes to scrambling after plays and all that, seeing how that's like sounds like it's developed, but for me, look, he's playing as if he's always had that. And then on the other side of the coin too, their DBs are just so electric. They're so fucking sharp. They're like magnets. They play so unbelievably tight yesterday, and they made someone like Bo Nix look even worse than, I don't know, I'm not gonna say than he actually is. He just didn't look good at all yesterday.
Yeah. We'll talk about the defense real quick. Then we'll get to the Bo Nix. I have many thoughts. Jesse Minter is going to be a head coach next year. That is abundantly clear unless they pay him a bag and he decides to see it through because him and Harbaugh are like this and they want to win a championship together. And I'm praying that happens because next year is going to be the year that this team is really good because they're going to get their franchise left tackle back, have another draft under them, hopefully get another running back since Najee Harris is out. Next year will be the year where this team is extremely good, I think, barring good health again. I pray to God they find a way to keep Minter for one more year because right now they're going to get the best they can out of this depleted roster, like I said, without a franchise left tackle, which is a huge deal. And Khalil Mack, we'll see when he comes back, what he looks like. Najee Harris out for the year. They're going to make the most out of it this season. But if they lose Minter as soon as they get going like this, I'm going to be so sad because he is a genius. The level at which they defend the pass with, the way they defend on a string, the way they have their match coverages tied so perfectly, the way they get the most out of shitty DBs. Dante Jackson and Benjamin St. Juste were throwaways from teams that played more man coverage schemes and saw those guys get cooked all game. So those teams that the fans of those teams that watched them saw the Chargers sign them and said, haha, you guys have to watch St. Juste. Good thing the Chargers run hella cover 3 and hella cover 2, where those corners, all they have to do is be good ball hawks and defend their area with a very conservative scheme. And they've gotten the most out of those guys. Tarheeb Still is one of the best tackling DBs in the league. Derwin James and Dighton Henley are probably the best second level defensive duo in the league. Like, this defense is truly special.
Dude, it's ridiculous, man. The ceiling is a lot higher than shit you thought, and the entire NFL thought, bro, for this team.
Yeah. I remember I got cooked in the comments one of our preview episodes because I said, I didn't say I guarantee, but I said I'll be shocked if the Chargers defense isn't top 10 because we were talking about how they were top 5 in points scored last year. But, they lost Poona Ford, they lost Joey Bosa, they lost Fulton. Everyone's like, oh, surely there's going to be some regression. And I said with Minter and with James, Henley, and Mack, I'll be shocked they're not top 10 at the least. And I was getting cooked for that. At this point, they're going to be top 5 at the least, it feels like.
Yeah, and especially because we're going to get to the end of the season and Khalil Mack is going to come back.
Like with the robotic arm, stronger than he was before.
Yeah, they did this yesterday without Khalil Mack. And once again, they were playing, it wasn't 11 on 11, it was more like 12 on 10 because Bo Nix with them.
He with us?
he's with them.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah,
let's talk about the Broncos. Bo Nix played poorly. I think Broncos fans are defensive about the guy because he's their young quarterback. I get it. He played like shit, I think we can say in this game. I'm not saying he is shit. I'm not saying I'm completely out on him. But I'm teetering that way because we were pretty high on the Broncos in the preseason. We gave them a lot of praise for the defensive additions they made, bringing in Greenlaw and bringing in Hufanga as free agents. Hufanga, which has played really well. Greenlaw's hurt again, surprise. But shout out Hufanga, who's there. And they draft Jahdae Barron, already having the most stacked defensive line in the NFL, I think, in terms of depth, and having the DPOY at cornerback. We envision this defense being game-breaking and being the best defense in the league. And Bo Nix showed enough in the second half of the season that even doubters like me said, okay, well, I guess I got to give him benefit of the doubt that he's getting better and they'll continue to build and they're adding more skill positions. That'll probably be enough to make this defense passable with Sean Payton, who we know is a career-long good play caller. So the whole calculus of why this team was viewed as a sneaky contender was best defense in the league, offense on the rise with a young quarterback who is only getting better. This man has not gotten better in the first 3 games of the season. In fact, he's gotten worse. He looks like he looked in the first 3 games of last season. There was 3 deep balls in which he sailed horrible misses. Well, actually, a couple of them under pressure, so I won't say horrible. But misses that a good quarterback that's ready to help contend needs to hit. He left multiple plays in the field. He still can't read the middle of the field. He still has to roll out and read one side. They had the training wheels on him. He can't do the quintessential quarterback stuff that you need for a team trying to win at the highest level.
Yeah, and I think like for them, if you're gonna have a guy like that who is playing as bad as he is, you would want for like your wide receiver 1 to be more than Cortland Sutton. And not to say that the Sutton's bad, but
he played great this game. But
but you would like to have I guess a little bit higher of a ceiling there for your wide receiver 1. You're still, you're figuring out your running back room. I mean, J.K. Dobbins was doing some good stuff yesterday, but overall, like offensively, it's just not you're not elevating anybody with Bo Nix.
No, you're holding him back because Sean Payton. A lot of Broncos fans on Twitter I've been seeing are like mad at Sean Payton for his play calling, saying he's playing too conservatively, calling these short passes, not letting Bo Nix cook. I promise you, Sean Payton knows Bo Nix better than anybody in this world. He understands his strengths and weaknesses better than anybody living on this planet. Better than you as fans, better than the other coaches, better than the media members, better than his teammates. Nobody understands how to utilize Bo Nix better than Sean Payton. I can promise you.
And that's why, like, you know when Harbaugh does the thing to his quarterbacks and he like hits them on their pads and stuff. Sean Payton's version of that is going out in the media and just lying
saying he's perfect,
and just lying in your favor and showing the whole world like this is my guy. I really do like him because that's what Sean Payton did all summer, and it's just. That's just not the game. Sean Payton played with Drew Brees. I promise you, he knows what great quarterback
and not even
looks
that.
like.
Not even on top of lying. It's not reflective. That hype is not reflective in his actions. I said the fans are mad at Sean Payton for the vanilla play calling, for the rollouts, and just focusing on the short area. Sean Payton is calling those plays because he knows what Bo Nix can't do. And what Bo Nix can't do is what you want to see him do, but he's not good at those things. It is a double-edged sword where the play calling has to be shit because the quarterback is so limited and he's not even executing what he does well right now. So it's all around just Bo Nix is the problem right now. And not to say he's a problem that will sink them, not to say he's a problem that won't get better or that he won't become an elevator over time. I'm not going to write anybody off for 3 games, especially this early in their career. But right now he is overtly the problem, I think.
Yeah, and we'll see because but even like a we'll see type of thing. Week 1, you looked awful against Tennessee, who looks like one of the most unserious teams in the entire league.
Number 1, really.
Fair. And then you go on the road. Still, listen. I guess the Colts, like, you got it. I still have a couple questions, but
they got it offensively, not defensively though. Like, they're not some buzzsaw on defense.
But like, so you don't win that game, and then you have this game right here where the game was to be had. I don't even care about the performance, which, like, I will care about it probably towards the end of the week. Monday mornings, I care about did you like win the game?
Yeah.
And you didn't. You were up so many times. You had opportunities to go down and win it, and every time that the Broncos had a chance to either put the game away or go win the game, they gave it right back to Herbert, and they say, actually, it's your turn to win the game. It's your turn to go make these mystifying game-breaking plays. And so go ahead, have your moment at home. And it doesn't seem like I don't know if Bo Nix is going to be able to get to that point this year because of how far he's regressed to. You know, like if he gets to the point that everybody thought that Bo Nix could get to, it's going to be one of like the best in-season turnarounds or in-season progressions that we've seen in a long, long time. So bare minimum, you are just hoping, hey, can you get back to where we were last year? And that quarterback is the 18th best quarterback in the league. And you need your defense.
And Broncos fans are talking crazy whenever you suggested he wasn't on top 10 trajectory. They were full of themselves after one playoff appearance, like he was the franchise, and he still might be. Again, in principle, not writing anyone off this soon, but my hopes are not high. I'm no longer viewing them as a playoff lock. They're not out of the playoffs or anything. They can still make a run, make a wild card, find that appearance again. But before the season started, I said I'd probably write them in as a team I'm expecting to be in the wild card race. Now you kind of got to prove it to me like everybody else does.
Yeah, this is also what happens when you play like good QBs in your
and good DCs
in your schedule as opposed to what was going on last year. So.
Fun fact: the Denver Broncos are 2-8 in one-score games since 2014. Since 2024, my bad.
Damn. So this year and last year.
Yeah, and
he's not an elevator right now, which is like fine, but nothing. The infrastructure around him isn't great enough.
Yeah, and it makes sense considering, like going back to what you said, Sean Payton understands that, and going back to just how he has training wheels, which is the best way to put it, definitely goes to show why he's just like so frail and afraid to go ahead and go away from that. Because I think specifically yesterday, something that stood out to me when I was watching how Bo Nix handled being under pressure and how like it's so hard for someone like him to go ahead and like be up against the Chargers defense, which is I don't know what the stats are just yet, but I'm just gonna assume they're like a top 6 defense in the NFL.
They're top 3 in EPA right now.
Yeah. That feels very fair. To go ahead and do that, it's so hard for someone like him who already like struggles at times to like read the field and make certain throws. But what gets me is how frantic it feels like he is, and how he has like, I guess the best word is like happy feet, you know?
Yeah. He's no pocket presence. He's not good at navigating a pocket. There's a reason they roll him out to read one side of the field. It's a tough mental load, and it takes time to develop as a young player. He's also played 1 million snaps in college, so it's not like he's inexperienced in that way. This is not Anthony Richardson. He doesn't have good deep accuracy. He doesn't have great anticipation in the short game. It's not terrible there, but it's not enough to make up for the other weaknesses. He has to win in unique ways with his legs, with extending plays, with getting a good running game to support him and booting out and play action. All this stuff that just requires best case scenario to really maximize Bo Nix as he currently is in his development.
Look at this chart. Basically, half of his completions are behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, that's just a Sean Payton. That's what the fans are talking about. They're tired of seeing that, but that's what Bo Nix needs. And you see that one deep blue, the one touchdown? That was on a busted coverage in which Alohi Gilman made a stupid ass play biting on a play action when he's supposed to be manned up, and they get a busted coverage touchdown. That was the only chunk play that kept him in this game. If that didn't happen at the end of the first half, this game would have been over a lot before then.
Yeah. But
So,
all right.
Not a good day to be a Broncos fan, but it's not over. It's not cooked. You're not the Texans. It doesn't feel like it's death and despair, but it's not going super well.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another team. Let's continue to bury teams that are doing horribly. Let's talk about the team that we thought had a 100% chance of winning. We come up here and said this is one of the teams that we fully expect to win this week. If we don't really do like locks like that, but if we were going to, it would have been the Falcons beating the Panthers. And guess what? They didn't just lose to the Panthers. They lost 30-0
That's embarrassing.
to the Panthers, who, shout out them, they played a fine game to win. My takeaway from this game was not the Panthers have fixed everything in 1 week and we should be high on them, which, good game on them. So not to take away praise where praise should be. The Falcons look like a fucking disaster. We said the Falcons should win this game undoubtedly because the previous game they played the Vikings and their defensive front terrorized J.J. McCarthy and that injured Vikings offensive line. Coming to this game, both the Panthers starting guards went onto the injury reserve with a torn bicep and an MCL injury. So they're down offensive linemen. We're already not having the best line in the world this year. Surely this Falcons front will continue to show that they are legit and they are dominant and they are going to be a new strength under Raheem Morris. None of that happened. The new takeaway is Christian Darrisaw. Thank God he's back because that Vikings offensive line was dog shit. And the fact that they let this Falcons front dominate like that says more about the Vikings than it does the Falcons. Because in this game, that defensive front did not control the game. Bryce Young was under very little pressure. So when Bryce Young's not under pressure, he is good. He is accurate. He get the ball moving. And my God, the opposite can be said for Michael Penix. This was an absolute disaster class.
Yeah, nothing was good for this Falcons team all in all. Like not getting a single bucket, not getting up on the scoreboard, being blown out 0-30 is embarrassing on all fronts, bro. Like you are one of the few teams in the NFL that has yet to have a single touchdown pass coming from one of your receivers or tight ends, bro. Like that's ridiculous. Going back to what you said about Michael Penix, I'm not gonna have like any tremendous takeaways when it comes in, but this was just like a very bad game on all fronts to the point to where 9 minutes left or in the fourth quarter at least, you go ahead and bang out Uncle Kirk and you ask him to go ahead and save your life, which he didn't even look good either at all. That was just a scream for help. And in my mind, bro, this is just like overall. Everyone's been swindled. You were swindled. I was swindled. Falcons fans were swindled because we were over here thinking like, oh my God, this defense is this and that. And like to get blown by 30 by Bryce Young, who he was good, but he didn't necessarily have like a sensational game. He wasn't unstoppable, you know. He played very good. This is just way more of an indictment on you, how you couldn't get anything down on all fronts of the game at all.
Yeah, the Panthers offense was good enough to blow you out. But they blew you out because you threw a pick six and because you got absolutely nothing going on offense. Look at this chart. Michael Penix is supposed to be a beautiful deep ball thrower that layers balls up the sidelines with pristine accuracy we haven't seen since Phillip Rivers was in his prime. That's the play style he's supposed to have, is throw darts up the sideline. These defenses are taking that away. Clearly, they're not allowing him to do that. He refuses to throw deep over the middle of the field, which is a common flaw for quarterbacks that aren't that great. I haven't seen him throw a single deep post in his fucking career. He does not attack the middle of the field in any deep way. So you take away the sideline shots from him and don't allow him to get his bread and butter.
But honestly, I feel like that's more so on the offensive coordinator.
Both. I'm sure it works both ways. Yeah. I'm sure it works both ways. But they've turned him from that combination of defenses taking away the strengths and the coordinator's not necessarily scheming with the best fits, plus him not taking the other deep intermediate shots over the middle, which you have to do when they run these cover two looks. He's become a checkdown merchant. And he's also not a good checkdown merchant. He's not accurate. All these throws, everything they throw is a fucking 5 or 10 yard out to the sideline, and half of them are off target, so it makes it difficult for him after the catch. He's being forced to play like Bo Nix, and he's not as good at being Bo Nix as Bo Nix is.
Well, it's also because anytime that they like had throws over the middle, I mean, he's just inaccurate across the board.
Yeah.
Right. And there were a bunch of plays that could have been, deep intermediate throws. The ball is behind people. He missed Drake London on one of them. He's throwing the ball at some people's feet. And last year in the games that he played, we were very, very excited because he was very, and I say this in the best way, he was very reckless in the way that he was playing in his deep throws to the boundary. He was very audacious, and it felt like you were going to get a ceiling to this offense that you just knew, like Kirk Cousins isn't going to put it. One, Kirk Cousins doesn't have the arm strength to make those kinds of throws. And so Penix coming in and being able to hit Drake London 20 yards down the field and just saying, hey, I don't even care if there's two defenders in there. I'm going to try and layer this ball here. He can't do that right now. And it's not happening. And so wait, if you go back to his passing chart, you'll see There's a flurry of like 4 or 5 passes on the right side, all on the boundary, completely. Like there are just incompletions. If you're not getting those, if you're not hitting those, the Michael Penix game doesn't necessarily work. And so, like the pick six that he threw was complete trash, and it was like, what's going?
Dude,
What is going on
seeing him
here?
try to tackle like a fucking crab was even funnier, bro.
What is going on here? Yeah, the pick that pick six was actually infuriating, but everything else was you can say this for basically every young quarterback. For you to get better and actually take that leap, you need to be better with your accuracy, and he has not taken that leap, because even last week, whenever we're up here saying, "Oh, the Falcons look so good," it's not because of Michael Penix. It's because Bijan Robinson ran for almost 150 yards and the defense was great. He wasn't making crazy plays like that. And then you saw that like in week 1, like, okay, it's fine. Like you're okay, but you're still not lighting it up. Bijan had a 60-yard touchdown off of a screen pass. Mm-hmm. So the Falcons and their offense, and you having Drake London, and very weirdly, Kyle Pitts is having the best year of his career.
You know why? Because they're throwing the ball so short, and tight ends have to get the ball short.
But you have Kyle Pitts who's playing well. You have Drake London. You have Bijan, who is a receiving threat. You have all of these things that you would think can make your offense so versatile and allow your quarterback to play in so many different ways. He can't do that right now.
Dude, I am in absolute hell right now because in the fantasy, bro, I took Drake London dumbass high, man.
We'll get to that. And listen, I tried to give you a fucking life raft. You refused to give it to me, so now you're stuck with him. I don't want him anymore. You're in hell.
Christ, man.
We'll talk about that after this. We're going to get to the fantasy recap. Yeah, it's looking tough. It's looking tough because I also have him in one of our other redraft leagues with our college friends.
Oh, okay.
Not loving it. Not loving it right now at all. That's why I don't even want him anymore. Keep him. I don't even want him in our league. I'm sick of it. I don't want double coverage. But yeah, it's part of it too is his line is injured and didn't give him good protection. There was one play in the first quarter where he had a 3rd and 7 play, and Princely, the defensive end from Carolina, came screaming on the edge and didn't give me time. He threw an errant pass because of the pressure. So not his fault that he's under pressure a lot. He also sucks under pressure. It's pretty important that you're good under pressure as a quarterback trying to make anything happen. That's a bad combination of bad mechanics that don't lend himself well to pressure, being bad when you're rushed, and not having the best protection, not having the ability to take advantage of your deep balls. Like, it's kind of like what we talked about with the Texans offense, that when the strength is taken away by these cover 2 defenses that have been taking over the league, taking away these deep balls from all these quarterbacks, there's a cascading effect that your offense kind of falls apart when your quarterback or your line or whoever else is there necessary can't take advantage of what the defense gives up when they take away your strength. Mm-hmm. Here's an offense with no counter punches.
Yeah, Raheem Morris needs to be left along with their offensive coordinator. I think his name is Zach Robinson. Needs to be left in Carolina, bro. Don't hop on the fucking bus. Don't hop on the plane, bro. Yeah, stay there.
Hopefully, listen. Shout out Carolina. They played a great game in terms of just taking what was given to them. Their offense kept chugging along. Another good Chuba Hubbard game. Bryce Young played really good. In fact, there's a few plays that we talk about all season is that Bryce Young has been good on 80% of his plays. Then there's these back-breaking mistakes when he's under pressure and folds because he can't escape a defender and throws a bad pick. Wasn't under pressure very much this game, so he got his game off. And in fact, there was a few plays where he used his legs, where he outran some defensive ends, some linebackers for some big plays, picking up first downs, that I was like, okay, you look like you have the confidence in your body that you can finally make these plays and not be held back by the fact that you're too small and slow. So that went well. Did you see that one tech catch on the 3rd down where he jumped 1,000 feet in the air?
Yep.
Insane. Oh, I have it pulled up right here.
Please.
Just a good game by the Panthers. That's
show me again. I need to see this greatness.
Look at this fucking reach he has.
Dude, he is such a true X. It's crazy, man.
He jumps so high. That's that volleyball.
Yeah. He's like 10 feet off the ground. He could dunk. Like that. That was crazy. He caught a lob. That's Blake Griffin.
He's floating.
Brother, I'm so happy the Panthers have him because it's been ages since they've had like a true.
He's a Panthers fan.
Fuck no, I'm not a Panthers fan. I was. But I was
a Cam jersey.
It's a Cam Newton's jersey. Panthers just so happen to be on here. But it's been ages since they had like an actual true X, bro. I can't remember the last time they had someone to this level in terms of like ability. Maybe like Kelvin Benjamin. It's been so fucking long.
For that 1 year, he was good.
Yeah, exactly. A singular year.
Yeah. Shout out them. Shout out Trevon Moehrig, somebody we talked about in preseason that I liked a lot, who is a very good run stuffing safety. He was flying all over the place. Another big part of why these sideline catches weren't going well for the Falcons, outside of Penix sailing him out of bounds. He was there thumping everybody that caught him. Mm-hmm. He had a great game. J.C. Horn played good as always. Overall, just a very good showing from the Panthers on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Look closer to the team that we imagine they'd be in terms of like making big improvements and being like just competent in both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot closer to that today. Okay, next game to talk about. What should have been a shootout for the ages that just became a thumping. Dallas versus Chicago. Not much to say here. Ben Johnson beat the shit out of the terrible Cowboys defense.
Good job.
Caleb
Good
looks
job,
fantastic.
Chicago. Good job.
Listen,
You
man.
did it. You beat them down. I needed to see it. But this is we said it like going into the game. Shout out to Chicago. They did exactly what they needed to do.
Mhm.
You were playing a defense that is awful. You need to score 30 for it to be considered a successful day. And you did that.
They did.
Right? You scored 30. You were explosive. You pulled out the trick plays. It felt like this is the first time that it's felt like, hey, this is a Ben Johnson coach team, and you're starting to
Yes.
see the things that was in Detroit. You saw it here. And it's a shame that they can't play the Cowboys defense every single week, but this is the exact type of game, the exact type of spot that you have a moment and a data point where you can look around the team and say, this is proof of concept. This is proof of everything that we want to do. Now we can have a little bit more buy-in moving forward, and everybody can be on the same page, and vibes are restored and all that stuff. And because you won, and because Caleb had such a great game, once again, proof of concept. You can tell everybody, shut up, calm down. It's okay that we're 1-2. I told you guys that we weren't going to go undefeated in year one. It still is a work in progress, but we are progressing. So that's the bright spot for Chicago.
Yeah, it's been very linear progression in a way you want to see from a young quarterback with a new offensive coordinator who is a new coach. So many factors led to what was obviously going to be a slow start to some extent. Week 1, you lose because the quarterback and the offense sputters at the end of the game. You lose because of that. Week 2, you lose, and not because of them, though. They play pretty well and aren't the main issue at all. It was slightly better than the week before. Now you win because the offense and because the quarterback dominated a team they should dominate. That's getting incrementally better every time. That's what Ben Johnson keeps saying. He's saying behind the scenes, I'm seeing a quarterback who's improving, who is taking away something from every game he plays and finding a way to get better. That's precisely how this looked.
So yeah, I'm happy for that.
Yeah, I love seeing the growth, man. Every single week that I've been seeing Caleb Williams play, he just looks more and more smarter. The offense looks more and more crisp, even though it looks complex. And I see the growth in him becoming eventually like what they expect him to be in terms of like, okay, this can be a top 10 quarterback one day. This guy's going to put the end to our quarterback woes, and he's going to get, what's the number that you
4,000 yards.
4,000 passing yards and shit. As we speak today, I believe he's on track for that, bro. So
Makes sense, yeah. And also this flea flicker, he threw an absolute bomb. This was a ridiculous throw. This flea flicker, DeAndre Swift tried to fuck it up, threw the throwback way too slow, threw the ball like 80 air yards.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That a gorgeous throw. Like, he looks great, and hopefully continues to improve against.
again,
Not gonna play the Cowboys every week.
yes, exactly. This is the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
But he did what he was supposed to do. So
Exactly.
Very
You
encouraging.
didn't just barely beat them; you decimated them, which is hopefully what you saw from a game which you should dominate. On the other side, CeeDee Lamb got hurt, and from then on, the offense was not capable of doing anything. They are wholly reliant on Dak, CD, and previously Micah Parsons all being healthy to carry their respective sides of the ball. Without one of those guys, which one is gone forever, so that no chance of being a good defense, that's not going to happen. Without CD, the offense just doesn't work. It doesn't work at all when you're throwing to Turpin and George Pickens as the only two people. George Pickens also dropped the ball that became a pick, which really infuriated me. I hate seeing receiver caused interceptions, and so does George Pickens. He went to the sideline and freaked the fuck out, threw his helmet all over the place, had a tantrum. He deserved it.
Try to tell you, it's not even in November. Also, I'm also very scared for next week because if CD can't go next week and you have to go play Green Bay,
oh my God.
hey man, first of all, Michael might have 7 sacks if CD was there. If he wasn't,
Yeah.
it's gonna be one of the scariest sights. The only thing going in Dallas's favor is that the game is at home and it's not on the road. But yeah, so it's scary for them.
But yeah, not much to say here. Positive improvement for the Bears. Terrible injury luck for the Cowboys that maybe would have been a shootout. Who knows what would have happened? They just got their faces kicked in. Speaking of Green Bay, let's talk about Green Bay versus the Cleveland Browns.
Yikes.
Our first quintessential trap game of the season is here. The best team in the NFC.
We should have
through
seen
2
it
weeks.
coming too. We should have seen it coming.
Yeah, we really. I don't think we really talked about it that much in the preview. Now looking back in hindsight, it makes so much sense. The Browns defeated the Packers. Was it 13-10? I think was the final score.
Yeah.
In a just defensive slugfest in which neither offenses could get anything going because both defenses are absolutely dominant. And I think nobody talked about this as a potential trap game because the previous week the Browns played the Ravens and the Ravens scored 41 points. So nobody left that game as the casual fans that weren't watching the whole thing because who's locked into that in the early window thinking, okay, well, the Browns got flooded. Defense probably wasn't too great, right? No, they played a very good defensive game. Lamar's just a god and they scored on defense. Derrick Henry had like 0 rushing yards that game because the Broncos front is insane. And I think if a few big plays that Lamar threw went the other way, we'd be talking about that being a really, really great Browns game against the Ravens. And they carry that momentum forward into this game and completely obliterated the Green Bay Packers offense with their front four. Myles Garrett, Mason Graham, Collins, everybody else in that front four completely left their mark on this game and pretty much got victory single-handedly from that unit.
Yeah, they did. And the interesting part in this game was because I obviously I thought Green Bay was going to go in and just annihilate them or whatever.
Everybody did.
Yeah. And so, but even later in the game, like the Packers are up 10-0. And once it got to that point, I'm like, okay, cool. Like they got it because there's no way that Joe Flacco and company is going to come back, right? Like they don't have enough juice to get to 10 points in a quarter and a half. That's normally a game for them. And then they just went ahead and they did it. They got plays from the special teams. The theme of the entire Sunday was blocked field goals.
Yep.
Right. The Browns got one, and so I'm like for the Packers, this was the first test of like, hey, everybody's saying that you are the best team in the NFL and you're the most dominant team. You have to just be ready to play everybody whenever you have that title because the Browns and their defense obviously. Like that happened, but you have to figure out ways to win and ways to close out games, and that's just like this one data point of all right. Don't get too far ahead of yourself.
Talking about, I feel like we can go undefeated.
Yeah,
calm down.
Let's relax because even in both of their wins, there have been moments where the offense has sputtered in the middle of games, and we haven't really talked about it because the defense has been so great and they've won handily anyways. Yeah. So it's like all right, week 1, week 2, you'll get it figured out. This is one of those situations where if you don't play a full 60 minutes and you are not 100% there on every single offensive possession, you can get got. And so I think for them, it's a good, learning point, whatever. But this Browns defense definitely is one where if you're going to go play Cleveland and you're going to go on the road and play Cleveland, you have to be ready because Myles Garrett's playing some of the best.
Oh, that's the best non-quarterback player in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's just the best. Like he's the best player in the NFL.
It's amazing. Mason Graham was disgusting yesterday.
Bro, what do you think is the average amount of plays that a defensive tackle gets a pressure?
I saw the stat.
Was it 3 or 9%?
It was 9%.
9% is the average. He got a pressure on 40% of his pass rushes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
His just downfield get off is ridiculous. Combine that with Myles Garrett, who's just a multiplying force for everybody on that defense with the attention he draws. That is, we knew that'd be a crazy duo when they drafted him. That was like the goal was like, okay, so you pass up on Travis Hunter because you can get a defensive tackle that can make an insane duo with Myles Garrett for keeping him. Okay, it's even better than I thought it could be right away.
You see the picture that Mina Kimes posted where she said, shout out to the conga line trying to defend Myles Garrett because Myles Garrett rushing the passer. 3 Packers are 1, 2, 3 in line trying to stop him.
It's insane. And my main takeaway is obviously they won the game of defense. The Green Bay Packers offense got punched in their mouth by an elite defense, had a bad offensive showing. Happens. No real huge takeaways on either side, except for the fact that I think the biggest takeaway is I think the Cleveland Browns nailed this draft.
Yeah.
Mason Graham, big hit. Obviously, really good player. That was to be expected. He was one of the top players on the board. That much isn't a surprise. Carson Schlesinger looks like a very good linebacker, moves the field well, reads the field well, can break on runs really well, smooth athlete. That looks like a hit, especially with JOK being who knows when he's ever coming back with the injury. It was hugely important that they hit on that pick as the top of the second round, which it was kind of viewed as a reach. Doesn't matter. Talent's talent. Judkins looks fantastic now that he's back, one of the better power runners from this class. He's probably looking the best running back in this class, really, so far. And Fannin, obviously, very good, very talented. They're using him in a lot of creative ways. Lots of hits from this class so far through 3 games.
Yeah. Quality win.
About to be that time. Understand?
Dylan Gabriel's ready to make this team his.
Yeah.
Just count down.
Yeah, very good class. And from a class that on draft night was maligned.
Yeah.
You draft 2 running backs, a middle linebacker at the top of the second. What are you doing?
Mhm.
It looks like all these players are just good.
Yeah, the Browns are the Browns, and I fell into the trap where I'm just like overseeing all the things that they typically do outside of like Myles Garrett, and I walked away from this game feeling like, oh shit, like the Packers kind of have issues to address when it comes to their offensive line, which maybe they do later on down the line. Who knows? But no, it's really like the Browns are just really like that, and they have one of the 3 best. One of the 3 best lineups there probably in the entire NFL when it comes to their defensive line.
Yeah. Well, one of the top units defensively on the line is for sure. And yeah, maybe it's both. I'm sure if we dive deeper into it, Green Bay had some issues that they need to clean up on to get healthy on the line too. But it's hard to take anything away other than this Cleveland line is just like that.
Yeah. Exactly.
That they came out and they got victory for themselves. Now, we do need to see Green Bay find a way to be consistent offensively. That's something to monitor, but I'm not panicking or anything.
Yeah.
Especially because their defense looks so good still. If Joe Flacco would have lit them up, then I'd be like, oh shit, we got some 2 week frauds here. Crowned them too early.
But the way,
Trap games happen.
I agree.
Okay, next team to talk about. Let's talk about Pittsburgh versus New England. What was an infuriating game to watch.
I'm still disgusted.
Basically, all year I've been talking about Bryce Young as being really good 80% of the plays, and then he has backbreaking plays that messes it up. He's the best 80% of the time quarterback in the NFL so far. Mm-hmm. New England had an 80% of the time offense. Every single drive, they drove down the field, marched. Drake May got the ball out fast. They ran the ball decently. Their offensive weapons made some plays in space. They went down and did what they should do as a solid offense. Then they get to the red zone and they fumble the ball every time. 3 fumbles in this game. Actually, no, 4 fumbles in this game. 2 by Ramondre Stevenson, 1 from Gibson. In the fourth quarter, Drake May had the backbreaking fumble on a strip sack. Nothing's going to go well when you turn the ball over on the ground 4 times. It doesn't matter how good the drives look before then. If you drop the ball when you get to the end zone, you don't have a chance to win.
Yeah, red zone turnovers just feels like the ultimate like stab to the fucking heart because it's so painful, so infuriating for all the things that you guys said. Especially considering like Drake May didn't even have a bad game at all. He was fine. He was good.
Yeah, the offense
very
played
promising.
80% of the time, they played very, very well.
Yeah,
but 4 fumbles is insane. Oh, and Drake May threw a pick. I forgot about that. So 5 turnovers in this game, and between that, things looked swell. It looked just squeaky clean outside the fact that Travion Henderson is hated by the organization and they refuse to play their running back who's a good pass blocker and who doesn't fumble. Fuck him. But keep giving the ball to Ramondre Stevenson and Gibson. Fuck him. Give the ball to the fumblers.
If I was a Patriots fan, I'd be so livid. And not obviously not just because like we lost, but because Aaron Rodgers isn't even good. Like the Steelers offense isn't good either.
Yeah.
Right? That's not the thing to look at. They have a clear weakness defensively, which is, all right, so TJ Watt's over here. Everybody else, you guys can't stop us whatsoever. Like, they will run against, they'll go the opposite way of TJ Watt, and they will run that to that direction, and they will find success there. It's not just, oh, we don't want to run at the best defender on the line. Everybody else is a walking lick.
Yeah, their linebacker core is terrible.
Yeah.
I mentioned in our preview that in week 2, they beat the Dolphins, but in that game, I noticed A-Chain completely obliterated Robert Spillane at the backfield every time, which, fairness to Robert Spillane, pretty hard to defend Devon A-Chain running out of the backfield. He's insanely fast, insanely shifty, hard to grab a hold of. But I was like, A-Chain's kind of murdering these linebackers. This linebacker core sucks, man.
Yeah.
Again, this week, Jaylen Warren got whatever he wanted. He's running all over the
field. I was
field.
talking about the Steelers. The Steelers, like the Steelers.
Well, you're
line.
right too.
Yeah,
you're right too. Yeah,
both linebacker cores are terrible. I'm not gonna lie. Patrick Green, Robert Spillane, line up on the wall. I can't tell the difference.
Yeah,
you guys are both getting diced.
I mean, Spillane was able to just walk into it. At least he could at least walk into a pick because Aaron Rodgers was. I don't know what Rodgers was looking at. Just threw him the ball, but like the Steelers and their entire offense, it's in a place where. And I should have seen it coming because right now we're on track again to another 9-8 season. I thought Aaron Rodgers was going to be the one to destroy this entire team.
I don't know why you thought that. They're clearly destined for 9-8.
I thought 8-9 at least maybe. But so now we're here. But like this tweet says, 3 straight turnovers by the 3 straight turnovers.
That's embarrassing, bro.
Resulted at the 1 yard line, and they had the Drake May pick was incredibly frustrating because you're at the 1 yard line, you're going into halftime. You could have been able to tie the game after a very subpar start to the game, and it just doesn't happen. So I feel like for them, you have to figure out, obviously, hey, let's just not have one of the worst turnover days in like franchise history. And then 2, when we do have an opportunity to even keep the drive going at the end of the game, let's stop juking backwards, right? Let's actually be football players, embrace contact, right? Let's go through somebody's face and try to get the first down, because that was obviously the last chance. It was a 4th down play, but they had every opportunity in this game to go win it, and they literally fumbled the game away.
I love how last week in our preview as well, I talked about how kind of funny it is that the Steelers are so reliant on jump balls as like a team in the red zone. That's like all they really have is their main go-to passing move. And I was like, I'm kind of like, I don't love that given the weapons they have. Oh, and this week, one of the touchdowns is just one of the best jump balls I've ever seen, thrown by Aaron Rodgers to DK Metcalf. It was just random perfection. I was like, okay, that's why they do it. That's the one thing that Aaron Rodgers still throws better than anybody in the world. That was an absolutely ridiculous pass. DK Metcalf went up and got it over a smaller defender. I'm like, that's what they see in practice, why they say we're going to throw jump balls by hell or high water.
Yeah.
Also, like, your quarterback can't move anywhere, so you can't really do anything creatively. So, like, you're just going to stand there and we're going to play jackpot, and it's going to be okay.
And Jaylen Warren ran the ball well, but I don't know, their offense is just so uninspired to me. Jaylen Warren has played really well. He's been insanely shifty. Him and Gainwell is just so unathletic as a duo. The receiving core, like I've been saying, so unathletic. He can't move, him being Aaron Rodgers. Like, this Steelers offense is just anemic.
Yeah,
they get it done, so they won. Shout out to them. But, like, against teams that don't fumble 5 times, I did not leave this game feeling any better than I did the week before.
Yeah, it's weirdly enough, I feel good about the Patriots and like more worrisome about the Steelers. I guess maybe because the expectations are a little bit different. Obviously, and I walked away from this game feeling like Patriots. Okay, I see all the offseason improvements you guys tried to make, and I feel good about it. Damn near all around. But on the Steelers end of things, everything just feels so mucky. Feels like there's a lot more to be had, but also feeling like, how good can you guys get? I don't see where the improvements can be made.
Yeah, I don't feel good about either of these teams. Neither one of them move me. I kind of like don't enjoy watching them.
Yeah,
as a general enjoyment factor is not very high for either team for me.
That's fair.
Speaking of a game that was not an enjoyable game to watch, that we watched for obligation, Kansas City versus the Giants.
This game was so bad, bro. I watched this on the flight and I wanted to turn it off so bad.
It's one of the games of all time, I'll tell you that. Main takeaway. Scatabo, this is your team. This is your backfield.
That was your takeaway?
That's my takeaway. This is Scatabo's team. He is him.
Dude, he's my favorite running back in the league.
He's so
for the
dope.
worst reasons, too.
He's insane. He's a crazy person. He just runs really hard, really fast, really forward, and it works.
Really forward.
And his elbows go straight, and it works.
Yeah, dude, like his last name represents his game. Just scatterbrain all over the place, bro, and he's just fucking run through your face every single fucking time.
I saw a tweet that said him as a player is somewhere between Peyton Hillis when he was on steroids for that year versus Peyton Hillis all the rest of his career when he wasn't on steroids. Scatabo somewhere in the middle, and that's the most accurate description.
Scatabo.
That's hilarious. There's 2 things that I took away from this. One, we're going to come up here and we're going to say it every single week. We are going to put public pressure on the Kansas City front office. Go get a running back.
Please.
What Isaiah Pacheco was doing yesterday was malpractice, was intentional sabotage towards the offense. I've never seen that. Like, and
look at this play.
This play right here, where Mahomes throws it backwards. He tries to throw a screen.
Why is his hips facing the other end?
Mind you, this is the second time in the game that this type of play has happened. There was a play earlier.
His hips like he's gonna run a fade.
Why is his hips opening up the other way?
That beautiful swivel if it was a wheel route. Beautiful swivel.
It's
just going the wrong
ridiculous.
way.
Yes, there was a play earlier where Mahomes tried to throw a screen pass to Pacheco, and he was behind the line of scrimmage so far that it like ended up turning into a loss of like 8 yards. It was either this one or it was another one. But there were two plays like this. So that's one. 2, very similar to how we talked about, Jacksonville came into the season with the plan for Travis Hunter, and they wanted to roll his usage out in a very smart and detailed way. That's cool. Everybody has a plan until it's week 4 and you have to figure out what you want to do. The Giants, yeah, we're not going to play Jackson Dart, right? We want to protect him. It's okay. And then you see 3 to 4 weeks of Russell Wilson last week not included, and now it's like, oh yeah, Jackson Dart is going to play before week 7.
Yeah, it feels like the same time now. The crowd was booing the shit out of Russell Wilson in the fourth quarter. It was kind of crazy to see. Like, it was pretty weird vibes in there, like how quiet it was, and just the boos filled the arena, and the announcers let it breathe. Just a strange feeling to a primetime game.
And you
In
had
week 3, no, mind you.
you had texted the chat, and as soon as you texted, I was thinking the same thing because they had a close up shot of Russ. And I was like, man, Giants Russell Wilson is so washed.
Dude, it's so washed.
It feels like a fever dream.
Yeah.
And they were going through his stops, and it's like, oh yeah, he played in Pittsburgh and Denver, and I was like, he did play in Denver. Like, that's crazy.
And
It
it was a
so
disaster.
weird. It's so weird. So
true.
seeing him in this spot on team number, what is that, 5 now? 4?
4.
Yeah, on team number 4. It's just, unless you are playing the Dallas Cowboys, who anybody can throw 300 yards against, it's just not going to work. And it's not going to be a long-time solution.
The pictures of Russell Wilson in his jersey are being added to the pantheon. Next to Patrick Ewing, next to Hakeem in a Raptors jersey,
Celtic Shaq.
Shaq,
Next to Shaq, of
Bob
course.
Sanders in a Chargers uniform.
Yeah.
Where did Joe Montana play? When he
For
washed?
the Chiefs.
Yeah, like everywhere these players go, they're super washed. Like Aaron Rodgers in a Steelers jersey. Like, put Russell Wilson in a Giants
Jerry
jersey.
Rice in the Seahawks jersey.
Jerry Rice in a Seahawks jersey.
Yeah.
I would say Adrian Peterson in a Commanders jersey, but he had a pretty good year for them, so it's not that.
I just saw a clip. He had the longest rush of his career in the Commanders uniform. He had Adrian Peterson. He had a 90-yard touchdown run when he was playing in Washington.
Yeah, he had a 1,000-yard season. That was crazy. Yeah, but it would have been that. Like,
Jesus
whatever you
Christ.
think about as the most washed version of a player. Didn't McNabb play for the Vikings at the end?
Was it the Vikings? He played for Washington. I know.
Oh, okay. Oh, whoever it was, all these teams that you imagine these players, Russell Wilson is firmly in that conversation for the most washed-looking player I've ever seen. It's kind of a masterclass of looking washed.
I mean, yeah, because also like when Malik Neighbors has like 2 catches in the middle of the fourth quarter, it's just not.
Yeah, he also can't move, so that adds to the washed allure. He also sucks.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jackson Dart, your time is coming. It's on the way.
How many
and
more
your-
games until he starts?
2 maximum.
There was a report that they might bring him out for week 4 against the Chargers if they lose this game. I can't imagine they look at what the Chargers defense has done and say we want to throw Jackson Dart out there against those Wolves.
Yeah, it sounds like hell, honestly.
That would be insane. So
And this was always a part of the conversation, was that the Giants' opening schedule is really, really tough. So you always try to find like the gap or the quote unquote easy matchup. So here's what's gonna happen. They're gonna play the Chargers. Russ is gonna look bad. The next game it's on the road, but it's okay because they go on the road to play the Saints. You are going to start him there. And so Jackson Dart, 1 week, get your arm warm, start stretching, start throwing passes, because once again, it is your time at the start of October.
tough. Those are the 8 games we want to talk about up front. I think it was 8 or 9. The rest of the games this week we'll talk about on Thursday's episode when we get some more time to go back and really gather our thoughts and have a big picture episode.
Damn, my bad, Jackson Dart. You are gonna get killed. So, brother. So he starts against the Saints, Eagles, Broncos, Eagles. Then the 49ers, Bears, Packers, Lions. Goes through the whole NFC North.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
Sorry, Jackson. Your chain looks cool. I'll give you that.
he
This
does.
is a season from hell, man.
Is that tooth chain? It's really, really iced out. Good white boy swag.
Him and Scatterboo going crazy.
Hey, they're going to repair the culture in New York.
New York streets are not safe.
They're going to play the game the right way. I can't wait.
Got these 2 dangerous white boys on the loose. Millionaire white boys. Oh my god.
Oh, fuck. One is a screw loose. One's a fuck boy. This is crazy. Oh, man.
That's funny as hell.
Next thing we're going to do, before we get to TikTok time, we got to do our weekly fantasy football check-in. You guys have really been enjoying this more than I thought you would. So shout out. We're going to check in on our house call fantasy football league that we have with our other podcaster friends. Let's start off with Donovan's team. Me and Mo play each other. We'll get to that. Donovan,
What's up?
how did your week go in week 3, coming off of a game in week 2 in which I trounced you by like 80 points? How did week 3 go?
I mean, obviously it's not going great. I think overall,
Not
like,
going great.
He's down by 80 again.
Yeah, I mean overall.
Jesus.
Wait, scroll through the rest of the team. Right, Tyrone Tracy gets his shoulder ripped off. Marvin Harrison, him and Kyler Murray are not on the same page. We still have Zay Flowers yet to play. Brock Bowers, it's whatever. Josh Downs is what it is. Calvin Ridley, terrible. In a game that you are down by 21 and you know that you need to throw, you can't get more than the one catch. That's
I'm not gonna lie. This Josh Downs, Calvin Ridley flex combination.
I thought,
One of the flex combinations of all time.
I really thought I thought I was gonna get something, but there's really nothing else on my bench.
Yeah, you can wait for Jordan Addison.
I could have started Hunter Henry. Could have 100% did that, but
yeah, but you have Brock Bowers.
exactly. I'm never gonna be out. Well, I will say we're at the point where I do think that I might have to start running 12 personnel, and so I think I'm gonna have to try and start Bowers, start Hunter Henry. You know, get back to real football.
Yep.
Right, real power football, and just win in the trenches. And
Not just 12 though. You gotta put a fullback on the field. You gotta start Nick Chubb in this flex too. You gotta go 22 personnel.
Oh no, you're cooked.
Listen, when
Nick
I'm start running 12, 20, 22. We might get a wishbone offense in here.
Yeah.
But whatever we need to do, we will do. It's about winning. Jalen is trying to get the guys, you know, together. He's trying to make sure everybody understands. Whatever you need to do to win, that's what we're about. It's not about the numbers. It's not about stats and you know, just putting up crazy numbers. We're here to get wins. And if you are not a part of that process, then this is not the locker room for you. So we're trying to get it figured out. Also, just a terrible week in terms of fantasy and betting. We'll have our full recap later in the week. But I did hit the legendary 0 for 5 in my picks.
Jesus.
Literally. Yo, man.
Oh, that's comical, brother.
It was a terrible week. Why do you think I'm so upset about the Patriots Steelers game? I was so mad. Every single time I was like, okay, they're gonna get it back. Fumble. I'm like, damn, bro, please. Lock in.
So many chances to win.
Lock in. Like, I just don't want to go on. I don't want to go on camera with no losses and nobody helped me out. Nobody cares about me.
Oh,
we
man.
keep laughing at you.
That's fucking funny.
Me and Mo play each other. Mo moves on to the legendary 0-3. I move up to 2-1. This game was fun because for most of this week, I have Jaden Daniels, who got put on the IR for me because he's missing this week. My bench has Harold Fannin, Christian Kirk, Troy Franklin, Byshal Tootin, RJ Harvey, Cam Scatterbo, and Trey Benson. I didn't want to drop any of them. So I was thinking about playing Mo with no quarterback.
Yeah.
Because I thought it'd be really funny if I beat him with no QB. But then last second I realized Sleeper lets you drop your defense and have 0. So I dropped my defense and picked up Michael Penix, who didn't even score more than the defense. I probably should have just kept my 49ers defense that I dropped. So I played him with no defense in there. He had the Eagles defense. And yeah, talk us through your team right now, Mo.
Oh man, don't feel good. I mean, of course, like we both got nuked by the Falcons. You really didn't have any real issues, but me, I am very, very, very dependent on Tyler Algier, and that didn't work out at all.
I'm
Fuck.
very dependent on Tyler Algier.
It starts with him. Not really. It didn't really start with him. The guy who really hurt me, of course, was Malik Neighbors. Of course, not to his fault necessarily, because the Giants situation was dog shit. He had the game of his fucking career, and then he very much followed that up with
So Tyler saved me.
3 points. Dude, I thought Tyler was gonna be fucking. I thought he was gonna save me in my running back woes. I genuinely thought he did.
The
Drake
Tyler
London.
Algier, Kareem Hunt 1-2 punch.
I picked up Kareem Hunt last minute because I was pending on making a move between a couple other guys, but I decided to go ahead and just say fuck it. Let me just go ahead and pick up Kareem Hunt. And
I just realized something.
what happened?
You have Najee Harris and you had Austin Eckler.
Yeah, I know. Najee Harris was on the bench, and he was starting, I think, at a certain point. But then I benched him at the first game of the season after seeing what he was. I was like, yeah, fuck that. But that didn't really move me. That didn't really hurt at all.
Listen,
My team is desolate, bro.
Also, I would trade you for Kareem Hunt right now.
What would you trade me?
You guys suck.
Wait, you said you would trade me?
Yeah, I want Kareem Hunt because I was also thinking about I was thinking about picking
man.
up Kareem before the game started.
I'm just happy.
I really hate that we do this league because this is not a proper representation of my fantasy football skills.
I wish I could redo this. So it's my first one, so I'm still learning as time goes on.
Mind you, I'm winning in other leagues. I promise.
Yeah, you have no excuse. My whole goal.
We have a dynasty league that you were going to beat me in. I was going to go 0-3.
Yeah.
Walked you down because thank God for Caleb Williams. Now I'm up by 40. You have Amon Ra and Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I pray to God one of them folds.
No, shootout.
If they get 20 each, if they get exactly 20 each, I'll win by 0.6. So somebody has to get you 21. Otherwise, Caleb Williams walked you down after I had like a 10% chance
Guess
of
what?
winning.
Amon Ra's going for 30 by himself.
I pray to God he doesn't.
He's killing
Yeah,
him.
I'm gonna be smacked by like 50, bro. It is what it is.
Yeah. Well, my team, I have Jaden Daniels coming back next week, hopefully. Kenneth Walker. Shout out Zach Charbonnet getting out the fucking way. So Kenneth Walker once again had 18 points. Dave Montgomery's playing tonight. Puka casually just wide receiver 1. Thank God I drafted him in round 2, mind you. Best pick of the draft so far. He's been insane. So got Amon Ra tonight. Tucker Kraft I had to start for love of the game. He was injured and played through it. So not shocking. He hit a slow game. And then shout out Javonte Williams continuing to be my saving grace. And Chris Olave being a complete PPR scam.
Yo, 10 catches for 57 yards is
Shout out my
That's
PPR scam.
crazy.
disgusting.
I tried really hard to trade Cam Scatabo before this game because I didn't want to start nobody.
Thank God you, yeah.
And I tried to trade him. I tried to trade a bunch of people. Nobody took the bait. And now Trey Benson, RIP, James Conner. I got Trey Benson coming in as a starting running back now. Cam Scatabo is a starting running back now.
Yeah, I probably should have taken that deal. But
yeah.
if it wasn't, so Isaac had offered me.
After Olave and Scatabo for Flowers.
Yeah. And I don't want to give up Zay Flowers this early in the season.
I was the same way
Now-
about Drake London as
Yeah.
well.
I offered him a million deals. How
now,
to do Scatabo.
Yeah.
now also, I can't say too much right now because moves have to be made very quickly. So
Me too. I got too many good players. I can't pick anybody up because I have Tootin, Harvey, Scatabo, and Benson.
this guy,
And Troy Franklin.
I have too many good
Maybe I
players.
could drop Troy Franklin. He had a crazy game. Troy Franklin had a crazy game 2 weeks ago. Troy Franklin he didn't do anything this week. We'll see. Monitor that situation with the Bo Nix offense, who he's passing to. Christian Kirk came in eight targets week 1. I kind of figured he'd be a PPR guy coming into that offense that needs everything up low. Like I don't feel like I can drop him. Harold Fannin, don't really want to drop him. I got to figure something out because at this rate, next week, if I don't make a trade, I'm once again going to play no defense.
It's not looking good for me.
It's looking great for me. Good thing our other
I-
redraft league sucks. Thank God this one's so good. Thank God the ones on Canberra is my good team.
How many leagues are you in?
Fucking 4 this year.
Oh shit.
Because I have a high school friends one, our
Yeah.
college friends one, our dynasty league that I keep forever,
Oh yeah.
and then this one for the show.
God damn.
Too many. I don't give a fuck about the high school league one.
I should have joined the other one between college friends. I should have joined that just to get more reps in, more practice in.
Yep.
Fuck man.
Tough. But we'll be here next Monday for another weekly update on why.
Yeah.
We'll see if Mo can hit 100 points next week.
I had 100 points last week.
You did. Let's see if it's an
Yeah.
anomaly.
Yeah, oh,
This
All
week we're
right.
back to 73, so it's a pretty small number.
Yeah, it's tough.
it is what it is. It is what it is. Who saw this coming? Who saw this coming?
who could have foreseen such a thing?
Oh man.
And that is the end of the main section of this episode. It is now time for us to get to some Monday recap TikTok time
TikTok time on a Monday.
on a Monday.
I love this new schedule. We move.
Welcome to TikTok time. Today, we're going to begin with what we did last week. We're going to make this a recurring segment. We are going to pick the winners and losers of NFL Week 3. So, whatever comes to your mind as somebody who won this week, somebody who lost this week, it can be one player, one team, one fan base, one idea, one concept, whatever comes to you. Mo, who was your first winner of this week?
First winner. I'm gonna go ahead and say Young Ho Gu on the
Gu?
Atlanta Falcons. That's how you pronounce his name.
Okay.
Not
That's
Wait.
how you pronounce his name. Actually, swear to God,
with a G.
Young Ho Gu. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. But on the Atlanta Falcons, he's no longer on the Atlanta Falcons, but he got to witness the Falcons' new main kicker. Missed kicks, missed goals that he was chastised for, roasted for, fired for. He lost his job for this.
A successful hate
There's no
watch.
position to go ahead and be better than to watch your ex go ahead and think that they're getting better and they didn't.
A
That's a winner.
successful hate watch for
I
Young.
like that.
My first winner of the week. Receivers who can't catch. From now on, you come into the league, you got stone hands, you drop everything that comes your way. It is okay because you can tell yourself that maybe you will be Quentin Johnston. Maybe you will figure it out in year 3 and turn into a fucking Pro Bowl level receiver. Hands don't matter. All you need is time.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Time heals all, including hands.
My first winner of the week, Drew Brees' legacy.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
a lot of people were saying like, hey, if Bo Nix looks good, maybe Drew Brees, system quarterback. Maybe Sean Payton is just a quarterback whisperer. That's not true. That was all Drew Brees in New Orleans because Bo Nix is not holding up his end of the bargain in Denver.
It's probably
Yeah.
more true that Sean Payton was a Drew Brees merchant. That's probably more of the conversation that's going to be had one day.
Even more.
One day. Right
Slow
now,
down, slow down,
I don't
slow
know.
down.
Even more so for Drew Brees' legacy.
Listen, Drew Brees, all-time carry job from no weapons, no defense, no coach. you're carrying a coach. How about that?
My next winner, I got Bryce Young. No one is trying your life. No one is going ahead and questioning your
abilities.
No one's questioning your rank. No one's questioning your position. And no one's saying that you are the fucking problem this week.
It's such a week by week thing with him.
Exactly. And this week, you are not the issue.
Yeah, next week, who knows? But as long as you're not throwing interceptions, as long as you're not fumbling, this week you're good. You're in the good graces of the fandom.
Yeah.
And especially dude, winning 30-0, like that buys him at least 2 weeks of grace.
I don't know.
Maybe it's
see.
one.
We'll
It's
see.
one. It's one. Yeah.
You get one pick six now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We'll rush
pick
one
six.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But shit
Nah.
happens. He just won last week.
He might have two of them in the same game, but it's okay. The first one, it's on us.
First one's free. Get out of jail free card. Next one. This is always a good one. Perpetual winners. People preying on the downfall of the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
You got one.
Yeah.
You got a victory. The good things happen to you when you want the adverse of what the Dallas Cowboys fans want.
Yeah.
I love seeing them suffer. It's the best thing in the world.
It's the most consistent thing in the world.
It's awesome. And listen, the game was here, and so there were a whole bunch of Cowboys fans here. I got to see them walk down the street being sad.
Oh, you live downtown, so you're definitely gonna see him come through.
It was great.
I didn't even think about that you live like in traffic of
Yeah.
Bears games.
Yeah.
So like you might see.
It was close by. I was like, because I was driving by, I thought that the game was in Dallas.
Yeah.
And then in the morning while I was driving out, I was like, oh wait, it's here. Because I saw him
Yeah.
and I was like, this is terrible.
Listen, if you're a Cowboys
Call
hater,
the National Guard in.
Call
we,
the
have,
National Guard.
we have a problem.
Too many of them walking around. Take them from DC, put them here.
Listen, if you're somebody who hates the Cowboys,
It's funny.
first you have the Micah trade, you get to laugh at Jerry Jones. Then you have them come in and play defense with that unit, get to laugh at them for a few weeks that they're losing. Now CD's hurt, potentially going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. If it is a normal high ankle sprain, you're going to get so many weeks of laughing at the despair of the Cowboys because things are not going to go well for them the rest of the season if this is the case.
It's going to be great. My next winner, bars in the French Quarter. Obviously, everybody drinks in New Orleans, but when the Saints suck, everybody drinks even more.
Okay.
So if
Okay.
you own a bar, you're getting paid today.
Oh, the
Go
profit return
ahead,
is ridiculous.
Get,
You're right.
get yourself a new car, get yourself a new boat, maybe, because the Saints are going to suck all year long. And they got embarrassed yesterday.
So Spencer Rattler is good for the GDP of New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I don't know if that's good long term, but I'll rock with it for now.
Yeah, you're not necessarily making the community better, but you're making them richer. So there's that.
At least in the short term.
For specific clientele,
Yeah.
bar owners. Everybody else, not so great.
Okay. I got losers. Honestly, I don't want to say too positive.
You don't want to see too positive? Okay, I got
Yeah.
my next winner. People who make Baker Mayfield edits on TikTok.
Mm.
They've been given
Oh, very true,
so
very
much
true.
ammunition for the swaggiest white boy in the NFL. Continues to be clutch, continues to make shit happen with his legs. If you're a guy that likes Baker Mayfield, you're having a great season.
Dude, the quotes that he's dropped already this year, tough as fuck. How he's just stared down into every single opponent's eyes. I think it was a game last week, not this week, where he took off on a run, then he got off. He got up and he was hurt a little bit, and then I forget who was talking shit to him, but he got up immediately and stared him in his face and just walked off the limp that he looked like he had. And
No,
it's
he's a
gonna be tough.
humongous aura farmer.
Yeah.
Like he's like Steph Curry in the shamelessness of how much they aura farm, but it works when you're winning games like this, walking defenses down.
Yeah.
Keep doing it because it's gonna work. You're
And
gonna get more edits.
he's always coming back though. Could come back to bite him in the ass.
Nope. 3-0 though so far, so the
You're right.
edits are gonna be made.
You're right.
My next winner is what people call the thick six. It's whenever a lineman scores a touchdown. Jordan Davis blocked the field goal to seal the game and
Thick
said,
six.
I'm doing this one for me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna run it back. He hit 18 miles an hour.
But how do we track that? Is that true? I'm gonna believe it regardless. I don't care.
It was true. It was
yep.
true.
Damn, he was moving.
My next winner is Madison Beer. That she is now 3-0 when rooting for Justin Herbert. Has never seen a loss when rooting for Justin Herbert.
That's true. Also, Streets is saying that she dressed him yesterday.
Dressed him.
Yeah.
Oh, he wore the 11s. Yeah, he had a fit on. He wasn't dressed
Oh,
like a truck
wow.
driver anymore. Yeah. He normally dresses like he's working at a fucking summer camp. He never wears. He's this guy just wears clothes for comfort.
Yeah.
He got some shit on yesterday.
Okay.
So really, the winner's Justin Herbert, but both of them.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Okay.
I'm also with him. I have some losers.
All right, who is the
would-
biggest loser this week, Mo?
Biggest loser has to be Jared Verse. Man, you got your chain tucked off of a friendly bet. But what makes it more damning is that it looks better on Jalen Carter than it does on
Damn.
you.
That's the worst. You give it to him and you're like, damn, maybe you should keep it.
Like to lose in that fashion already is like heartbreaking, and your mind is just like all scattered all over the place. And then next thing you know, you got this fucking assistant knocking on your fucking locker room. He's like, "Hey, sorry, sir, but you made a bet. You got to give me your chain." Had to give up your chain on top of that too.
Jared, hand me the chain.
Yeah, exactly. It's damning, bro. Biggest loser.
Tough.
My biggest loser, post-game advice. We've seen the clips rolling around. CJ Stroud trying to big bro
okay.
Caleb Williams, and right now Caleb Williams is up, and CJ Stroud is very down.
Yeah.
And it's
You know what the first thing I wrote down is?
What's up?
CJ Stroud's mental well-being.
yeah.
They have this man in a mental straitjacket running for his life, getting called all types of Drewski memes on Twitter, all because that team crumbled around him. There's no quarterback in the league right now. I'd rather be less than CJ Stroud.
Yeah. Another loser. Special team coaches. You guys have aged fucking 80 years, bro. Like all these fucking crazy plays. This is like the most game breaking shit that we've seen over the last like 20, 30 years in terms of like what happens on Sundays, bro.
Yeah, I
Fucking
haven't seen.
insane.
I can't remember a week where so many games were decided by special teams fuck ups than this week. Like, how many blocked field goals was it? Like 5 across the league.
Yeah, the Browns had one. The Eagles had two.
Two was fucking
And
crazy.
two, I won that. Like,
Yeah.
resulted in a
game.
victory single handedly.
The Jets
Yeah.
had one that almost won them the game. There's so many.
Yeah, ridiculous.
What's in the water? What's up with these special teams? You know what it probably is? Unironically, it's probably because they have less practice time in the preseason these days. They don't have nearly as many practices. That they're not buttoned up these days. They don't have the time to put in the mental reps.
Roger, this is
Literally,
your
I
fault.
was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, bro, so far throughout the first 3 weeks, let alone yesterday, like I haven't seen as many bad plays made from these simple, like what I thought used to be just like assumed, surefire. This is going to happen every single
Yeah.
time. No break plays, no block punts, or none like that.
And there's a lot of
Crazy.
missed kicks too. So basically, just being a special teams coach is the least safe job in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Or else it might be the most safe if you're good at it because everybody needs you now.
Okay.
It's in demand, but it's not. There's no job security.
Anywhere?
Yeah, you can get the job.
Yeah.
Keeping the job, anybody can get it. Right? Keeping it is hard.
My next loser, nepotism. Everybody that when the 2024 draft came around and they said Marvin Harrison Jr. is a last name merchant that shouldn't have gone above Malik Neighbors, if you were preying on his downfall, saying he's clearly not as good as Neighbors, if that was your opinion at the time, history might be proving you right. Feels like Neighbors should have been the clear pick there. It feels like Rome Odunze is lapping him a little bit this year.
Tough.
Not the prettiest start to a guy who I've held a lot of hope for.
He was supposed to be a generational talent.
And I still think he can be good. He is certainly not a generational talent at this point.
Wow.
It's not over. The white flag is not up. But I'm moving the goalpost a little bit.
He's just Marvin now. He's no more Maserati Marv.
No, he's just Marv. Just Marvin.
Just Marvin.
Yeah, just Marvin. No abbreviations, no nicknames. You're Mr. Harrison.
Damn. To think he used to be wearing a Louis watch during the game, and now he's dropping passes. You hate to see the downfall.
Goalpost have been moved. Now I'm just like, can you be like above average? Can you be a really good player? I'm no longer hoping for all pro.
That's all.
I hope that it's still there. I'm not writing him off. I hope I can be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
But my hopes are no longer based on he's gonna be a star for sure.
Okay.
Sounds like a fucking insane scam. Speaking about scams, my next loser, Falcons fans. Any Falcons believer to any degree, bro, on either end of the field.
I wrote the city of Atlanta.
Yeah, you just like time and time again, you guys go ahead and hope and believe that one day, someday, like your defense will change. One thing that you think that you had that you could hang your hat on is like having a solid offense, someone who was to believe to be bare minimum a top 15 receiver. You had unproven quarterback in Michael Penix, but yesterday happened to get blown out by one of your like top 3 biggest ops in the NFL. Dude, you're so down. You're down tremendously in these gang wars, bro. You're so down.
I wrote the city of Atlanta and then I put in parentheses question mark do-rag sales.
Do-rag sales.
Is that impacted on a week-to-week basis by the success of Michael Penix Jr.? If that is something that like moves the needle. It's not a good week to own a shop.
If Michael Penix is going to play like this, you have to have like a do-rag clause into his contract. Have to. And you got to come off of it.
That's right.
That's what it is.
Every pick
No
six,
more waves.
5 pick six, you gotta take it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't be out here trying to be wavy
Yeah.
if you can't do your job.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
What does he gotta do?
You have to grow it out.
Just comb it out?
Yeah.
He's gonna have-
Grow it out. I need to see 2020 Michael Penix. Freeform locks. You are banished.
I know that people seeing that picture.
Freeform locks.
Yeah.
Are you batting it from the barbershop?
Yep. You can't go. You can't get a cut until
No more wave gel.
no
Take that
no
brush
more washing
back.
styles. Nothing.
It's got to have one of those 1960s hairlines that's just curved.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
God damn, you better stop throwing picks. I don't want that for you.
My next loser, preseason hype.
Oh.
Football's gone for so long, and then we start all to get delusional, specifically me. And I was like, yeah, the Raiders are going to be good this year.
Yeah.
These guys suck. All right. Yeah, the Patriots are going to be good. These guys suck. I am upset that we have spent so much time thinking and fantasizing and plotting about best case scenarios and who can go where. Sometimes you just have to look at yourself in the mirror and look at the situation and say, this is not going to be what I think it's going to be.
Correct. I'd like to add an amendum. Well, said that completely wrong. I'd like to add an additional winner to our list.
Okay.
Me for hating on the Raiders for the entire preseason. I have been vindicated. Fuck that team. That roster sucks. You should look in the mirror and say they are who they're going to be. Situation's what it is. Look at the depth chart. There's not a lot of good players there. And they stink on both sides of the ball for a lot of clear talent deficiencies.
Mind you, they are 1-2 right now. If they get to 2-2, I'm taking all of this back, and we're right back on the Raiders.
To double up. Go ahead.
I'm just saying they drafted a star running back and hope you carry them without drafting good offensive linemen.
Oh, that's a loser too. Ashton Dempsey, he's getting killed. Ashton Dempsey had like 3 carries account for like 45 yards, and he had maybe like 64 yards over like 19 carries. He had 16 carries basically go for like 14 yards.
And that's what happens when you don't draft the offensive line first. Hopefully they can dress it next year. Their interior defensive line isn't good. Secondary isn't good. So many holes up and down the roster.
Again, going back to spotting the dummies out in the league, they are probably the poster boy of that. Never mind the Houston Texans.
They're just like, it's a rebuild, and people wanted to get them ahead of schedule and say they're going to have this 1 year turnaround. It was never going to be that.
It's also crazy. I mean, they lost a starting defensive lineman
Because he's kissing people.
because they were kissing in the locker room.
Oh yeah, I forget about that. Oh yeah,
So, if I was a Raiders fan,
damn.
it's like our defense sucks because of a kissing scandal.
Damn.
Like,
And that's the thing, though. It was going to suck, and then one of your stars
Exactly.
kissing too close to the sun gets kicked, and people were like, "Yeah, I think they'll still be a wild card team." I'm like, I doubt it. I'm like, maybe, but like probably not.
Oh man, bro, that's so funny.
Oh,
That's the one team I decided to hate on. It's going well.
Another going back to what you said, winner on the other side of the Raiders, Dan Quinn's aura.
Okay.
We're talking about edits, bro. When Marcus Mariota accidentally headbutted him, bro, and having also one of your players too talk about how they would die behind you. The edits are gonna go crazy if you guys are
Popped up with a
panning
bloody
out to
nose.
be good, bro. Yeah, popped up like a buddy nose.
that's real football.
Looked like you ate it.
I was saying,
It
no, he
wasn't
did. He
moved.
he ate that shit and just continued to coach.
Yeah, exactly.
He performatively ate it too. He was like, "No, I'm good." Like,
But when he had that old man fall though, bro, it looked so bad. It looked so bad.
another loser of this week. Anyone trying to tackle Cam Scatterbo? Concussion instantly. You're just 3 weeks of your life gone. Whatever your life expectancy is, knock off a week every time you tackle him. It's just
Just don't remember it.
little by little, you're living less.
Every Giants fan would love to have a concussion right now. They're tired of watching this football.
Hey, listen.
It's over.
And I guess the other biggest loser is Cam Scatterbo's bones over time because he runs like a madman. It is like
Yeah.
watching a truck go into a wall every play, and I love it.
It's the biggest loser. It's Mr. Unlimited. He is severely limited at this point. And
Mr. Limits.
yeah, Mr. Limits. He's about to lose his job. He's about to get his chain taken.
Damn.
Damn.
Other losers I wrote just had to do the quintessential every week ones. Tua Tagovailoa, Bengals fans, perpetual losers.
Oh yeah.
Sucks to be you, but it sucks to be you every week, so I don't want to spend too much time on it.
We really convince ourselves. There's like, okay,
I-
like maybe Jake Browning can be like, okay. Like I know he threw a lot of picks, but we've seen them have some success before. Biggest loss in franchise history
Yeah.
in his first game starting this year.
Yeah, not me. I was like, they're fucked. I was like, I don't have any faith in this goddamn team.
Another
But you ain't
loser.
thinking they were going to get beat this bad.
We didn't talk about it, but no. I mean, no one thinks you're going to see a 35-point blowout.
35 points is ridiculous. I didn't even think that.
To Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
To Carson Wentz.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Biggest winner, Carson Wentz.
Yeah. Loser. Fucking doesn't matter really, but in terms of like that specific fan group in the NFL, Jamar Chase fans, you are the biggest loser in this shit because you watched the wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 battle go ahead and die right in front of your face, especially when he got the ball punched out of him, bro.
Tough. And that's all losers I got written down.
I think
Oh,
that's
my last loser
Yeah.
is cool celebrations and losses. Aaron Glenn had a really like fun celebration when he was strutting down the sideline after Will McDonald blocked the field goal.
Mhm.
But now it's just like, damn, you celebrated all that just to lose, just to immediately get walked down again. That's tough.
yeah.
Tough. And that's our winners and losers of week 3. Stay tuned next week for our next episode of Winners and Losers. Next thing we want to do, let's play a little bit of QB King of the Hill. Kind of get a lay of the land of how certain QBs are to you guys right now. I'm going to name 2 quarterbacks. You tell me who you'd rather have today.
True.
And I'll continue to name a quarterback subsequently until we get to whoever wins King of the Hill.
Okay.
First off, Michael Penix versus Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I'll take Caleb Williams. Right now, I don't want anything to do with Michael Penix.
Honestly, it's not close at all. I'm taking Caleb Williams in a heartbeat.
Especially after week 3. Maybe it gets closer as time goes on, but I feel like 1 is trending up with Ben Johnson. 1, I'm like, I don't know where we're trending.
Yeah, we've only seen what 6 games to this point of Michael Penix, and like shout out to him for looking promising in the first 3 games. The first 3 games of this season, still like you said, a lot of unknowns. We're still seeing a lot of the accuracy issues.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams is out here throwing bombs. I'm gonna take Caleb Williams.
Too.
Okay.
Yeah, I need Michael Penix Jr. to acknowledge that you have weapons. Use them.
Bo Nix.
Oh, I'm taking Caleb Williams.
Oh, for sure.
Again, I said
That's crazy.
I said earlier in the show, if you are playing the Broncos, it's not 11 on 11, it's 12 on 10 because Bo Nix is with you. He's on the other side. At this point, he has not progressed to the point to where you can say that he is actually elevating the Broncos offense.
You just calling him a universal informant, just a rat every single night.
Trevor Lawrence.
Oh,
Caleb or Trevor is interesting.
I think I'm taking Caleb still.
Yeah, I will take Caleb because with Trevor, I feel like I know exactly what he is, and it's a very frustrating process.
Yeah.
However, with Caleb, there's a couple frustrating things, but he's still trending up and up.
Yeah.
And I think the best of Caleb Williams is still better than whatever the fuck Trevor Williams or Trevor Lawrence can offer you.
Untapped potential. I'm pick it every time.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield.
See, this is where we stop.
Sorry.
Baker Mayfield, with one hand behind his back and his eyes closed, I trust him to lead me down the field in a 2-minute drill. He is hooping right now.
Okay.
You could tie both of his legs up. I don't know why. I'm still taking him over.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud.
Yeah, I'll take Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Baker for sure. CJ, the way he's fallen, his name has.
How quickly conversations change.
Yeah.
All right, P.
And
Jordan
it's
Love.
Jordan Love. Ooh.
I'm taking Jordan. Ooh,
I'm taking
actually-
Baker. So for this season so far, I'm
Wow.
taking Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baker's played better.
It's still Baker.
Baker's played better.
Yeah.
Baker's played like a top 5 quarterback so far this season.
Yeah, that's fair.
Justin Herbert.
And yeah, Justin
This
Herbert,
is
you
where
got it
his
over
run
Baker
has
Mayfield.
Ended for sure.
And conveniently, that's the end of King of the Hill. Justin Herbert wins. No more matchups to be had.
Just go
That's
ahead and
King
get
of
it
the Hill.
off. You
Yeah.
deserve your Justin Herbert
That's
off
King of the
again.
Hill.
Have your day.
You deserve it.
Had several days so
He's
far.
third best quarterback right now.
Had 3 straight great days, 3 straight Sundays. When will it end? Probably next week.
You're loving your life.
Okay. Next thing we're going to do, I'm going to name 2 NFL offenses. You tell me who you trust more. So as a unit right now, from what you've seen in 3 weeks, who do you trust more to win a game if we played tomorrow against standard defense? Chargers versus Packers.
Chargers offense. I'm taking the Packers still.
Offensively, though?
Oh, sorry, my bad. I don't know why my brain is still on the Raiders for some reason. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm taking the Chargers easily. I'm taking the Chargers easily, bro.
I don't know about easily, just because. Actually, no. Maybe
I think
it is
if you
easy.
have I think if you have Justin Herbert on your side with like all the weapons that he's accumulated
Yeah.
as time has went on, Keenan Allen just like Unk still has a lot left in him. Those two chemistry carries on.
He barely
throughout
looks like
the
Unk.
years, bro.
He just looks fine.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm taking that 100% over.
Oh, when I see Shane Waldron.
Yeah.
Do the Packers have a receiver that's playing better than Quentin Johnston right now?
You know, that's a
No.
No.
that's a great
And
No,
that's not
they
even
don't.
getting to Ladd McConkey being the 3rd best receiver so far this year.
Yeah.
The weapons are crazy. Hampton hopefully is coming to his own. The offensive line is so bad for the Chargers that I think it'll be an issue as time goes on. But so far, I feel like you got to pick them.
But the offensive line and the fact that like if I pick the Packers offense, I would have LaFleur on my side as well.
True.
I think I like that. And so I think I might take Green Bay. But listen, Greg Roman's been looking very different. He got a makeover. Like that offense looks great.
He's glowing.
Yeah.
But
Handsome.
I can't watch the interior of that Chargers offensive line and be like, yeah, I'm gonna take him.
It's true.
They
I
probably
get
score
it.
more than 10 points against the Browns.
Yeah.
Buccaneers versus Eagles.
I don't know.
Bucks versus Eagles.
Oh, I'm gonna take us. I'm gonna take us.
That's
Only because even the worst of the Eagles is still like scoring 24 on the Cowboys. You still were able to win against the Chiefs, and you came back from 19 against the Rams. Like,
They've had one good half this season.
Yeah.
And the Buccaneers, like, it doesn't matter who you're throwing to. If Mike Evans hurt, Godwin hurt, Wirfs hurt, they're going to find a way to lead good offense. They're going to find a way to get the running backs going, find a way to put Baker in this position to make them win in the fourth quarter. In terms of trusting an offense, I think the ceiling of the Eagles is obviously higher. But trust, they're way more consistent right now than the Eagles.
Yeah, exactly. I think I would like to lean towards the Bucks, but the Eagles just always feel like the inevitable. You know, I don't know if it's because their defense is like kind of looming in and always
Yeah,
keeping them in the game.
exactly.
Probably is that. But I hate to say it, but I just trust what they do on a consistent basis. There's a lot less like lows compared to the Bucks.
No, I trust the Bucks offense way more right now. But by season end, I think the Eagles will get back to being normal. And obviously, you put the defense into it; they're the way better team.
Yeah.
But right now, I trust the Bucks offense a lot.
I'd
more.
rather watch the Bucks on offense a lot more often. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'd much rather watch Baker Mayfield. He's been cooking.
Yeah.
Emeka Egbuka over AJ Brown.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm taking him.
Stop
Becca.
that.
Stop
Stop
it. Just rage
Stop
bait.
Ibuka's disgusting.
He's
He's so
ridiculous.
good.
Disgusting.
He's probably better than Devontae Smith.
No,
But
he
AJ
is.
Brown
He
still
is.
is.
Yeah. Who knows?
He
about
will
AJ
by the end of the year, I think. If Egbuka is this way, but he has to prove some stuff
We're
still.
so quick to hate on Smitty, man.
No one he's like the one who's least hated on receivers. Like nobody hates on Smitty.
You hate on him a lot.
No, I don't.
You do not give Smitty a lot of
What do you
credit.
want me to do? He's a very good wide receiver too. What do you want me to say?
You never give him a lot of credit. man.
What do you mean if you like that? Yes, I do.
What's a lot of credit?
I don't
Nah,
even know.
man.
What do you want to hear?
He just be hating on him.
I've never once hated on Devontae Smith.
This is the weird thing to do.
I've never said a single bad thing about Devontae Smith on
Who
this
hates
show.
on him? Who hates on him?
No.
It's
He's
weird.
so consistent. No, every time we have conversations, he's so consistently.
This is the
just
fakest demon I've ever heard.
He's so
Fakest
he's
demons.
so consistently just belittles Smitty and does not give him credit. It is so
I've
ridiculous.
never once belittled
Is
Devontae
it because
Smith.
he just doesn't give him like extra shine? That's why. You're
See,
not
but that's
spit
not
on
a
it.
spit
You're not
shine.
spitting on it. You're hating,
That's the thing.
bro.
It's not even extra shine.
Yeah.
He just nah, man.
He wants a little bit of two hands. Oh, it was pretty crazy.
Nah.
Okay. Rams versus Bills.
Suspect greatness. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Oh, Bills.
taking the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills.
I would trust James Cook to get 100 yards rushing with my life right now.
Dude, James Cook is so fucking insane. I knew it was like straight. I knew it was just fucking good.
He leveled up. His vision is ridiculous right now. That Bills offensive line is fucking maulers, and he's so good at running behind them. Like Josh Allen doesn't even got to do a lot to win right now.
Yeah, I'm taking
And that's
the
why.
Bills.
And that's exactly why I'm gonna take Josh Allen right now. Listen, I trust Josh Allen so much.
Cruise control. Texans versus Browns.
Texans
Think
versus
carefully.
Browns.
Think very
I
carefully. of all
wanted to say
factors.
something very quickly, but honestly, this is the worst choice. Like I'm gonna have to switch sports. Like we have to go back to basketball.
Badminton.
Hockey?
Oh,
It's too cold out there.
ooh.
Listen, streets are very up on pickleball. I like tennis much more.
We can play foosball. It's probably pretty safe.
I wonder if anybody's ever like ruptured their Achilles playing or like broke their wrist.
Carpal
playing-
tunnel?
Yeah. Just,
Too much torque.
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I guess
Like
we
I
gotta
was trying to
go.
compete in the championships, but I gave it everything I had.
I guess we gotta go with the team that employs CJ Stroud. But like, do we?
You don't feel good about it.
We're talking about trust. I don't trust them whatsoever.
I guess they got weapons more than the Browns in offense.
But
But what does
honestly-
that mean?
But like, so like you have Nico Collins.
exactly.
If Judkins is gonna look the way that he looked yesterday, listen, Cedric Tillman's nice, right? Fannin is cool. Like you have some pieces to maybe you can do something. I mean, they scored 10. They scored 13, and the Texans scored 10 yesterday. So guess what? I'm going with the Browns.
Hey, they look cooler doing it too. You're right.
Yeah.
I hate
all
those
brown
jerseys.
jersey.
I hate those jerseys.
Yeah, we know you do.
They look terrible.
We
But
know
I mean,
your MO.
I guess I trust.
Why you hate those jerseys?
He's wearing brown right now.
I guess I trust the Texans to figure out how to be like league average with CJ Stroud and Nico.
Mm.
But the fact this is a conversation says a lot. So I'm going to go with the Browns in order to say I'm disrespecting the Texans right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
As a-
deserve the disrespect.
They
too.
do. They deserve
They
it.
deserve it.
Okay. Colts versus Chiefs.
Ooh, this is good.
Hey,
Give me the Colts, man.
The Colts are a buzzsaw, bro. They do not make mistakes right now.
Dude, Daniel Jones is fucking cooking. What's her back name? Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor's the best running back in the league right now.
Frying, bro. I'm taking the Colts.
They got the best running back in the league, a quarterback who's not making mistakes. They have 4 weapons out there in running routes every play. All of them
Yes.
have an advantage on whoever's guarding them.
Yeah.
It's crazy right now.
I'm taking them, bro. I'm taking them easily.
Granted, they fried the Titans, which.
Titans are the
I
Titans.
mean,
Who cares? They did their
that
job.
doesn't mean that's a preseason
But
game.
listen, 3-0 is 3-0. Right now, they're looking better than anybody on offense.
That's true.
Yeah.
However, the question is trust. Daniel Jones could do this for 15 straight games. I wouldn't trust him to do it for a 16. I will take the Kansas City Chiefs. Every game,
No.
I will acknowledge that Daniel Jones is playing very, very well. I've seen enough in your past to make me think, like, can you do this for a full season? Next year, if he makes it through this year, I will then trust Daniel Jones. But I can't feel that way less than a month into the season.
Deplete everything that you've seen over the past. Just think about like these last 3
Mahomes
weeks.
and Tyquan Thornton.
Oh my God.
Hey, man.
Daniel Jones, you got to have 7 good games out of 10, then I'll trust you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay.
Also, that was a hilarious moment where Tyquan dropped it, the pass before, and then he
Yeah.
caught it, and he was like, I got it.
Yeah.
And like pointed up. I like that.
I like the trust.
Okay. Bears versus Patriots.
This is good, man. This is good. Both promising quarterbacks, revamped offense. I might lean towards.
I'm gonna go with the Bears. I think
I think the Bears have a better system in place.
Y'all thinking about it pretty
But I
hard.
think
I'm trusting Ben
Draymond-
Johnson easily over whatever Mike Vrabel
Exactly.
and them are going to do.
Exactly.
Easily, I'm picking the Bears. Like, I don't know if I trust him to like win more games, but offensively, I certainly trust Ben Johnson to like be a baseline competent offense as the year goes on.
Yeah, when it comes to the face of that offense, which is the quarterback too, I trust Drake May more. But considering all the weapons that the Bears have, the biggest weapon, which is like their head coach, obviously too, I think I'd lean towards that.
Yeah,
way.
exactly. I trust Drake May just fine. I don't trust Ramondre Stevenson, Antonio Gibson, Pop
Yeah.
Douglas, Stephon Diggs, Booty. I don't trust that group at all comparatively.
Yeah, it's hard to.
yeah, and especially now the Bears got Colston Loveland going yesterday. They got Luther Burden going yesterday. Cole Kmet caught a touchdown. It's a full like team effort, and so now you're seeing all of the weapons
Yeah.
come together. Rome is taking a step.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
the Bears
I'll
offensive
take-
line
I'll take
isn't
the Bears.
The Bears offensive line isn't great. They don't got Morgan Moses over there getting did by TJ Watt every play.
That's true.
I trust the Bears.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, and then last one, Dolphins versus Bengals with no Joe Burrow.
Go ahead and give me the Bengals, man. I'm still taking T. Higgins and Jamar Chase any fucking day. The fuck
Yeah,
do
I'll-
the Dolphins have to argue?
Yeah, I'll take them because
You guys are
even
insane.
because even listen, there's no situation more certain and predetermined than 2-minute drill to returning the ball over.
Two
pretty-
turning the ball over.
It's pretty written in stars.
Yeah.
Like
It's also written in the stars too that the Bengals backup Browning is Jake Browning's gonna throw some turnovers as well. He's going to do that.
Now we're going pick for pick. Who do you? I mean, at that point, I like the weapons of the Bengals a little more. I don't know.
Exactly. That's my logic.
Both got bad offensive lines.
yeah,
One quarterback is
no,
free.
No,
One's
I'm
making
going,
60
I'm
mil.
going with the Bengals. I'm going with Cincinnati. Was there any part of you that thought, yeah, Miami can win this game? No, I knew for a fact he
Yeah.
was going to throw that pick.
Okay, it's probably the Dolphins, but the fact that I'm thinking about it does not bode well for you when your quarterback is healthy, making $60 million a year.
I promise you, like one of these things is we're talking about shit versus actual like fart. And right now you need to lean towards
Versus
the fart.
actual fart.
Yeah.
Okay. Last thing we're gonna do. Let's rank the undefeated teams in the league right now based on how much you believe in them.
Mm.
So there's 6 teams currently undefeated. We got the Bills, the 49ers, the Chargers, the Colts, the Eagles, and the Buccaneers.
Okay.
Okay.
Rank them 1 through 6 on how much you believe in this being real.
Okay, let's do it.
So number 1, I feel like we can go the Bills. The Bills are pretty just clearly fantastic.
Should be Super Bowl
In terms of
contenders.
believing this being real, there's not really any things to point to on why they'll slow down. Their schedule's easy as fuck.
Yeah, you're right. They should shit. They could be 7-0 by the time Week 7 rolls around.
I think they probably will be 7-0. Like that's in the cards.
Yeah.
Do we go to the Eagles too? Have we seen enough in one half of good offensive play calling that we feel they can continue to go winless? I mean, lossless.
Who's an argument for 3
In for 2?
or for 2? Yeah, my bad. Who's an argument for it?
I don't know.
Anybody? But I mean, one. We're not going to argue, but yes, the Eagles are 2.
Yeah, because
Like I don't feel like doing the argument for 1, but yes, they are.
Mhm.
Yeah, 'cause they have more
our
question marks
one
than the
is
Bills.
over, but okay.
That's true.
Okay, yeah, they're 2. They're fine. I'm fine with them too.
now 3. How much do we believe in Daniel Jones? Because the Colts look legit. Everything about the Colts offense looks sustainable.
To go lossless, let's go one more because they've played the Titans and they've played the Dolphins, two of the most unserious teams in the NFL. Obviously, shout out to them for getting the win against Denver, but I do want to see you play against a team that is not going to be drafting in the top 5.
Do we go to Chargers 3 then for beating 3 divisional opponents?
Yes.
Fair.
Yeah. You beat Mahomes, you embarrassed Geno, and then you beat Sean Payton as well.
And the Broncos defense.
So I'm going Chargers 3.
Okay. So now we have Bucks, Colts, 49ers, and who we have left? That's only 3?
That's it.
Yeah, Bucks, Colts, 49ers.
Now, I will say, I will go with the Colts at 4.
I think in terms of, okay, so how much we trust them that this is
the
real?
Bucks.
I trust the Bucks pretty implicitly. Like they've just shown year after year they are really good. Like they don't have a low floor whatsoever.
Yeah, Bucks at 4.
And they're doing this without Wirfs in there too. They're gonna add the best left tackle in the league pretty soon.
Yeah.
However, but are we doing this off of like to stay lossless? Because they're
No, just how you think it's
Just
real.
how good they are
I mean
right now and how real it is.
They're a good team. I will say for them, because everybody likes big, I do like their first 3 wins have all been 2-minute drill, right? End of the game situation. For 95% of every other team in the league, you look at them and you be like, oh, this is unsustainable. Like this is not real.
But we've seen year after year that they've built a program that we believe in. And if you had is it more likely they fall off or the Colts fall off?
The Colts.
Probably the Colts.
Yeah.
So I think we go 4 Buccaneers, 5 Colts, and then 6 we'll put the 49ers, which feels weird, right?
Not
Yeah,
really.
It kind of does. Because, I mean, they're doing it with Mac Jones.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
and like they're only gonna get
okay.
better from here. They get the quarterback
That
back,
is
they get
true.
more healthy. Like I don't feel bad about them at all. But all these teams feel kind of real.
Is there any argument for them to be over the Colts?
Sure, there's an argument. Why not? The argument is Daniel Jones has sucked for 4 years, so maybe he'll start sucking again pretty soon. But I feel like they have an offense that is making him not suck for very real, sustainable reasons. They have so many difference makers that get open, and he's making good, fast decisions. I don't think the Colts are falling off. Especially the division's easy. The Rams have a tough division. They still have to finish ahead of the Rams. I mean, my bad. The 49ers have a tough division. They have to finish ahead of the Rams. I think it's way more likely the Colts win the division than the Rams do.
Okay, that is fair.
Ooh.
But yeah, the question
That's a good
really
one.
is
Yeah.
how much stock are we putting into Daniel Jones
Yeah.
right now? And you know what? For 3 weeks, you got it. You got it. We will give you all the credit and we will put you at 5 over and not put you in last because he actually has played pretty well.
Yeah. Okay.
So, we'll go with the Niners at 6.
Okay.
But understand, it's not some people have like year-long leases. Daniel Jones is on a month-to-month lease.
Week to week for it, really.
Yeah, like it's not
Yeah.
anything that's stable. We can get out of here at any point.
Yeah.
Ain't
I'm
bad.
admitting that he's proven me wrong. He's good. I will just as quickly admit that he stinks again as if it doesn't continue to go this way.
Exactly.
Daniel Jones, all this mess that they've been talking to you about, like they've been talking to him or talking about him throughout my NFL infancy, as if like he couldn't park a car in an empty parking lot, like as if he was just like that wildly inept. And to me, he just looks like a top, I don't know, 13, 11 quarterback in the league.
And you know what's funny? We weren't exaggerating. He was truly terrible in recent years. Like we'll talk about on this Thursday episode. It was not an exaggeration.
Okay.
With that being said, that's the end of this episode. If you're still here, comment, shout, good job, Daniel Jones. Let me see good job, Daniel Jones, all throughout the comments. Let's spread positivity today.
Yeah.
And
Just
also
for
tell me the worst thing about Russell Wilson.
now.
And with that being said, we'll see you on Thursday for the next episode.